With 21 goals tonight at Rogers Place, Alexander Ovechkin would become the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the National Hockey League, surpassing Wayne Gretzky. Keep that storyline in mind. Oilers Capitals tonight at 7 o'clock. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6. The Capitals are first overall in the National Hockey League with a record of 31-10-5. The Edmonton Oilers are now 6th overall with a record of 29-14-3. Pardon me, the Oilers are 5th overall at 29-14-3. No McDavid for the Oilers. We know that's the big story. We don't know exactly how they're going to line up. I know there's a projected lineup in the preview on the Oilers website. When he was interviewed this morning, Chris Knobloch didn't commit to anything beyond saying that the 4 centers will be Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins, Henrique, and Philp. He was asked if there's an opportunity for Jeff Skinner in the top 6, and Knobloch just basically said, well, there are opportunities for everybody, including Jeff Skinner, to play more and take on more responsibility. So anyway, we don't know exactly how the Oilers are going to align themselves. We'll look at some possibilities as we move along throughout the afternoon. The Capitals' top line is Strome between Ovechkin and McMichael. They have Dubois with Protas and Wilson, Eller with Radish and Frank, Dowd with Duhaime and Mangiapane. Defense pairing Sandin, Carlson, Chychrun, Van Riemsdyk, Fehervarvi, and Roy. And the goaltender tonight, Logan Thompson, 0-2-1 against the Oilers in his career, but he's having an awesome season with a record of 21-2-3. You almost have to do a double take on the page when you see that. 21-2-3 with a .925 save percentage, 2.09 goals against average. Skinner expected to be in for the Oilers. He's 2-2 against the Caps in his career with a .924 save percentage and a shutout. And that was the one last November that kind of really turned the Oilers' season around and sent them on that 24-3 run that changed the fortunes of their season. So those are some Cole's notes for tonight's game. We will be joined by John Walton, the play-by-play voice of the Washington Capitals, at about 3:40 this afternoon. A lot of Oilers discussion, of course, and we're also going to have our very first interview with Stevenson Bone. He is the new head coach of the U of A Golden Bears football team. That was announced Friday, a story originally broken by Jason Milne, who's sitting a few feet away from me here on the desk, so Stevenson will be on the show too. You can get on the show. Your comments can anyway. You can jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube, and usually there, you guys just take over and get talking more with each other than with us. And if you are on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. We've had some incredible days for positive thumbs on our YouTube feed, so please keep going with those. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. I look forward to some limericks coming in, I hope. And if you are texting us, it is the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. Of course, River Cree Resort and Casino, the presenting sponsor of the inbox and home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 at the Kitchen Restaurant every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. Okay, enough prattling for me. Milne, how you feeling about seeing Ovi tonight?
It's exciting. I mean, anytime you have, who's going to go down as one of the best players in the game, best scorers in the game, certainly, coming through town, it's exciting. And it's not a team that you traditionally see in Edmonton. It was interesting to see them come in early. We'll ask John Walton, Capitals play-by-play, about that when, they believe they arrived Sunday night. And
I think they must have arrived Sunday because they practiced yesterday at the same time the Oilers were practicing.
But it was interesting to see Ovechkin somewhat fanboying over all the Gretzky memorabilia that is around in places that maybe you can get into, but most people can't get into, right? So that was neat to see. But yeah, I mean, Ovi's in town. That's always a good story. It's just too bad that the Oilers version of Ovi will not be there tonight and for the next 2 games.
We covered the suspension, obviously, extensively yesterday on the show because it happened during this show.
I believe ad nauseum.
Yes, ad nauseum. A-D. Now we'll find out if he really thinks what it is.
That was the second hook to go in the water.
We're going to, I mean, of course, if people want to talk about it, that's cool. But we will, the new thing we'll have today, and I know Hernan and Gager alluded to it a little bit as well, but we're going to have comments from Leon Draisaitl on the suspension and on that end-of-game sequence and on how star players are officiated or not officiated by refs in the NHL. So I think that's relevant to hear from Leon on it. I thought he was pretty honest, as Leon often is, though I think still respectful. I don't think he did. Well, he definitely didn't say anything that's going to get him fined or get a call from somebody saying you can't say that type of thing. So that will be one thing we'll get to this afternoon. Gretzky scored 894 times in the regular season. Ovechkin is at 874. The Capitals have 36 games remaining in their season. So he needs 21 goals. I got to admit, it's pretty awesome what Ovechkin is doing. He missed some time this season. He has 21 goals in 30 games. I remember being on, I think it was on Two Guys and a Goalie in September at some point before the season started, and with Gager and Cassian, and we started discussing if Ovechkin broke the record this season when he would have needed 42 goals, and I said no, I can't see him getting there this season. I said maybe early next year, but a pretty good chance he's going to get it this year if he stays healthy and he keeps scoring at the pace he's scoring at. He's scoring 2 goals. Well, he's basically scoring 2. Yeah, he's scoring 2 goals every 3 games. He's got 21 goals in 30 games. He needs 21 in 36. So really, if he keeps up the same pace, he's fine.
Yeah, as long as there's no health setbacks or anything like that, it appears as though he should, which would be good because you would hate to see this drag on and have Ovechkin playing into year after year, chasing it, as he's getting older as a player. It'd be nice to stick a fork in it and be done with it.
I got a question for you. Random thought. If Ovechkin, now there will be Capitals fans there tonight, and specifically Ovechkin fans.
And Marshall Nielsen, our very own Dustin's child.
Yes, Dustin's taking his son to the game.
Yeah.
Or Marshall's taking Dustin to the game. I'm not sure really how it's working.
It's a loaded question.
If Ovechkin scores tonight, does it get a noticeable cheer even from Oilers fans?
Ooh, that is
they'll be, the cheering for Ovechkin will be audible if he scores, just because there'll be Capitals fans there, right? The star players. And I just know from having done shows in Studio 99 for several years, you see the people coming in with jerseys before the game. And you'd see when they play Washington, there'd be more Washington fans than a lot of other teams because of Ovechkin.
I don't know if there'll be
and Jason Chimera, obviously.
I don't know if there'll be a cheer per se or a gasp. When you can hear the air come out of the building, kind of.
Yeah, like an audible, you'll hear people turning to their buddy.
Yeah.
We got one.
Like a murmur.
Yeah, I'm not saying it'll go off like an Oilers goal or when he's announced as the goal scorer, because I don't think Oilers fans like to cheer a goal being scored on their team. But maybe when the goal is being announced, is there more of an audible like, hey, Ovi, we recognize you're having an incredible career and you're close to the record.
Well, hopefully there's enough of a sense of that you're watching history right in front of you, and you like to appreciate that. I would like to hear that. I don't know if that'll necessarily happen. Now, if the Oilers are up 5-1 in the third and Ovi puts one in, there would be a cheer.
Probably would be more. I think than that. Yeah, that's a good point. It might depend on the magnitude.
I think it does.
Goal.
If this is a 3-2, like if Ovi scores a game winner in a shootout, I'm sorry.
Well, you don't get credit for his goal for that, right?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, if he gets the overtime winner, yeah, but maybe if he gets one early or gets a garbage time goal, there might be.
That's an interesting question.
Because Oilers fans are obviously knowledgeable. And I think ultimately respectful and appreciative of good hockey and amazing players.
Well, it's been said for a long time that Oilers fans are very knowledgeable fans and very aware fans. So it'd be as somebody that appreciates the game of hockey, it wouldn't be out of line to clap or at least notice that Ovechkin has added to his totals, and you were there to see it.
Last year, Skinner stoned him several times, and the Oilers won 7-2. It's funny, they beat the Capitals twice pretty badly last season. The Capitals did sneak into the playoffs. I think most predictions would have had them as a bubble team or a flat-out non-playoff team this season. Again, they are first overall. Remember somebody asked about Coach of the Year candidates? Would you not have to put Spencer Carberry at or near the top of the list?
I think he's at the top. I think he'd be in negative odds right now as well.
Right. Do you know that for sure? Have you checked the odds today?
I don't, but I would assume I could. I'll find him.
I thought you had the odds right in front of you.
No, I'll find him, but I would be shocked if he wasn't at a negative situation.
We have on every Oilers game day our mystery athlete of the game presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. You can also go to Hudson's Canada's Pub Fridays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. onward for the late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. If you're new to the show or you've never tried this before, I want to give you a quick reminder of how this works. You must text your guesses to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Okay? Maximum 3 guesses per phone number. Jay can easily see how many times you've written in, so don't just spam the inbox with a bunch of different guesses. I give 5 clues throughout the course of the show. We usually don't get to 5. Sometimes there might be someone who gets it after the first try. That doesn't happen often as much as it used to. Well, really, it happened once, and I got upset. And then a couple of people got it after the second time.
Sent you into a spiral.
That we really did.
Grumpy cat really made you grumpy.
Maybe well, I'm usually grumpy. Actually, today I was kind of grumpy earlier. No, I wasn't grumpy earlier. I was feisty and aggressive.
Yeah,
I'm more normal now.
Feisty Reid's a good read.
So the first clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game is Alabama. Okay? That's the first clue is Alabama. That's all I say. I don't give any context for it. The first clue is Alabama.
I just want to point out that there is a nasty that is listening that is chiming in the chat, the nasty chat that is on our YouTube feed. Tom Bueller, who is currently ice fishing on Lake Isle.
Nice.
He's getting skunked. He's providing updates and reports.
That's awesome.
So, Tom, if you want to send us a setup of your situation, you can text that in to the River Cree inbox. I'd love to show it, especially if you catch a fish. We're wishing for a fish for you, Tom. 780-218-9999. And you can send us all your thoughts on tonight's game. Will Oilers fans cheer an Alex Ovechkin goal? I think that's a great question.
In some way. Like Smitty the Welder says, no way an Oilers fan cheers for an opposing player that scores against their team. That's silly. I don't agree with that. I think a player scoring, if not the goal itself, maybe the announcement of the player's name after the goal is scored. Just show some appreciation. You have to remember, Smitty, when Wayne Gretzky as an LA King broke the NHL's all-time points record, it was as if the Oilers scored.
Yeah.
Mex Bezozu says MSG is famous for cheering on a historic performance of a visiting player. Is there a chance in the NHL? Is there a place in the NHL that is famous for doing that? I don't know. Jamie says there will be more boos than cheers given how deep Alberta's Ukrainian heritage is and Ovi's views with Putin. I don't know how many people go to a game thinking of that, but Jamie brings that up. It is Ukrainian Heritage Night. I think at the end of the day, most people probably don't, I would guess, don't worry about that. But if it might be a bother for some people, but I don't know if that would have a huge effect. Anyway. Yes, I know Gretzky was a former Oiler. Thank you, everybody in the nasty chat. That's why he got cheers, too. I just wonder, like, if a visiting pitcher is throwing a perfect game, the home fans usually start hoping for the perfect game in the 8th and 9th innings. I know this isn't a direct comparison. I'm just saying, would there be an appreciation, an audible show of appreciation for an Ovechkin goal? If not when the puck went in, like maybe when his name gets announced by Al Stafford after the goal. You know?
Look, you're just asking a question, and we want feedback. There's no right or wrong answer. Let me ask you this, Reid, because I know in the press box it's very. You're not cheering for, against. It's pretty even, Steven, right?
Yes. Well, there's no audible.
But as a member of the media covering the game and covering this historic, the history is going to be made this year. Is there a murmur in the media lounge or in media row when Ovechkin would score, or if he pots 2 tonight? Is there a little bit more reaction? Because
I don't know. I mean, I talk to the people next to me if I feel like it. But
so you're going to be sitting next to Iwanek tonight. The coup.
Is he going? Yeah, I'll probably be sitting next to him.
Are you going to be like, hey?
Yeah, that's Ovechkin. Ovechkin's number 8. Watch him.
That's about the maximum amount of reaction I would expect from you. But that is a
because I'm just
reaction.
there to see what's now. If I were going to this game and this was the night he was going to break the record, no, I wouldn't be hoping for it or not hoping for it. I would just be like, well, I might see it happen, but
that's
I might
not true. Selfishly, you'd want him to break that.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you? I would.
That I was there for it? I don't know. But, well, if the Oilers were ahead late in the game, then maybe yes. They were way ahead.
Just, to recount some of the, you showed that video at the end when they won the Western Conference Final over Dallas.
Yes.
You showed that video, and I could honestly tell that video means something
was
to you.
exciting to see that, to be in the building for that.
So maybe the memory.
Yeah, maybe I would once it actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you would.
You think I would actually be happy about something? That's kind of you.
Well, Reid, I know you like none other. Well, no, not like none other, but
well, you're getting to know me.
I am,
better.
and I like what Daddy likes.
By the way, there's a Super Bowl party at Century Casino Fort Road. Under $10 food and drink menu. They're going to have prizes every quarter, including Elks home opener tickets, jerseys, win your tab, stuff like that. You can also enter to win your share of $1,000 in prizing. Reservations are recommended. There is no cost for admission. Email edm.centurysports@cnty.com. Super Bowl party at Century Casino. So Ovechkin in town. He is the NHL all-time leader in power play goals with 317. Do you know who's second off the top of your head?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Not Tom Gazzola.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was Tommy. No, I don't.
It's Dave Andrewchuk.
Wow.
274. So we are going to have an off-topic topic that's, well, sort of a little bit on topic tonight because it is going to be inspired by Alexander Ovechkin, though he may or may not be on some people's lists for things we're going to ask for here. The off-topic topic is presented by William Huff since 1952. William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So send to us either through the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or in the Nasty Chat, or email read at edmontonsportstalk.com. Give us your ultimate NHL power play. The 5 players from any point in NHL history who are on your ultimate power play. Now, you have to have a defenseman, like somebody who played defense 5-on-5, manning the point. So you can pick anybody who ever played in the history of the NHL. I'm going to give you one right now from a guy here at Edmonton Sports Talk who played in the NHL, and technically when he was in the game, he would have been on the power play because he was the goaltender, never left the ice. Here is Joaquin Gage's best ever power play. Okay? Wayne Gretzky at center. Mario Lemieux on the right wing. Alexander Ovechkin on the left wing. Connor McDavid in the bumper position. And Phil Bourque as the blue liner.
Wow.
And then Gage put Joaquin Gage himself in net. And then he explained extreme confidence that there will be no shots against during the 2 minutes. So that's Gager's.
How was Gager's stick handling ability?
Pretty good.
He could set it up, get it ready for the boys to take it down the ice.
Yeah, just tee it up. You don't have to give yours now. We're going to save ours.
We're going to save ours.
Yeah, and I have a couple other ones from colleagues, and I'm sure we'll get. So your ultimate 5-man, and you know what? Pick a goalie. Pick a goalie with it. Okay? Pick a goalie with it as well.
Okay.
River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Email read at edmontonsportstalk.com or throw it in the Nasty Chat. This will be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of about probably 10 to 12 names.
Probably.
But I'm curious to see if anybody surprises us with an interesting reason.
My defenseman might surprise you.
Okay.
It's just off a feel.
It's not Travis Dermott, is it?
No, it's not. It's a look. I liked his look. I like the way he looked skating up the ice.
Okay, that's cool.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I liked.
We will get to that. We will hear some comments from Leon Draisaitl. We have Zachary Kubish updating your sports.
The McDavid-less Oilers challenge Ovechkin and his Capitals here in Edmonton with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live to set you up for the action at 6 o'clock right here on EST. And out west, it's the Canucks hosting the Sabres, the Panthers visiting Anaheim, while the Hurricanes go at it with the Stars, having 8 games in the NHL. And in other news, Zach McEwen is taking a personal leave of absence from the Belleville Senators after splitting this season in the NHL and AHL, recording 3 points in 21 games for Ottawa this season, while out east, Islanders' Noah Dobson will miss an indefinite amount of time after he took an awkward fall and bent his leg while absorbing a hit from Columbus's Cole Sillinger yesterday. In the NFL, head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension with the Vikings, while Chicago has hired former Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. On the court, the 10-32 Raptors meet the 23-21 Magic. 4 other games in the NBA has Philly out in Denver. The Knicks and Nets throwing it down, while the Wizards try and upset the Lakers. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Transform your home at a fraction of the cost during Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event. For massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture, Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event is a can't miss. Plus, enjoy free local white glove delivery and special financing offers to help you bring home the best. Visit Sit and Sleep today in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Oil Understood comes on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebration at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Yes, Ray Bork is. Did I say Phil Bork or did I just say Bork?
You said Phil Bork.
Did I actually say Phil Bork?
Yeah.
That's awful. That's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. No! Ray Bork would be the defenseman.
Is it that
on
bad?
Gager's all power play team.
Phil Bork? You know.
Phil Bork wouldn't even put himself on there, which Gager did. So Gager's best ever power play was Gretzky. No, to be fair, Gager didn't use first names, so he could mean
have meant
Keith Gretzky.
Yes.
Or who was the other? Brant Gretzky played a game in the NHL. He could have meant Claude Lemieux. There's only one Ovechkin. There's only one McDavid. He could have meant Ray Bork, Phil Bork, Maverick Bork, and then Gage in net. No, he meant Ray Bourque, everybody. I'm sorry. Big goof up on my part. I think everybody knew what I meant, even though I screwed up.
You're getting it in the River Cree inbox, Reid.
Well, that's all right.
You're getting called out. Krager, Gretzky, Lemieux, Ovechkin, McDavid, or Brodeur.
Pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good power play.
Rob,
I don't think there'll be any bad power plays on these lists. It's kind of fun.
Rob from the Grove, Lemieux, Gretzky, Ovechkin, McDavid, and Bourque. So there's a lot of Lemieux, Gretzky, Ovechkin.
That's the same as Gagers.
I wonder which Bourque. I mean, didn't clarify. With Brodeur in net because he could score. He scored 3 goals in his career. Okay. Jason and Leduc, McInnes, Lemieux, Gretzky, Dry, and McDavid. Mike Smith is the goalie because he's a great
nice
puck mover.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
X-Ray J, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ovechkin, Andrew Chuck, Makar. He did not name a goalie.
Collingwood.
You know who should be X-Ray J's goalie? Dustin Schwartz.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Sorry, X-Ray J. There's your goalie.
Collingwood Rob, Gretzky, Ovechkin, McDavid, Coffey, Zubov, Brodeur.
Going with 2D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, can you read that one again?
Gretzky, Ovechkin, McDavid, Coffey, Zubov. I like that pick.
Well, okay, let's do Hernan's. Because Hernan Salas submitted his. Zubov is his point man. Draisaitl, McDavid, Ovechkin, and then he put Gretzky behind the net. So there's not even a dedicated net front. I guess this McDavid skates around and goes wherever needed.
See, this is where I thought my defenseman was different, but Mike, the Michigan fan, and I share the same defenseman.
Okay, let's save it.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you save it? Because now I'm all titillated about who your defenseman's going to be.
It's not that great, but it just makes so much sense to me.
Okay, I'll take another guess.
Yeah.
Bouchard.
No.
Okay. No, because you said you like the way he moves up the ice.
I can't take it anymore.
So we have all these new sound bites. Who's playing them? Where are they coming from?
Coob uploaded them to this little board.
Coob uploaded them to the little, what is that called? Little mixing board?
A little soundboard.
Yeah. All right, so I'm curious to see what else we're going to have on there today. Let's get to the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. So, 7 o'clock game, Oilers against the Washington Capitals. And Leon Draisaitl spoke this morning and was asked a bunch of questions about the Connor McDavid suspension. Here are some general comments he made about 97 getting 3 games.
With Connor's 3-game suspension, you saw the way everything kind of went down. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, I don't have much to say towards it. Certainly think 3 games is a little too much for either side. But yeah, I guess we don't overly care about having our best players in the league in the game. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
You've been down that road, I'm sure, yourself too.
All right. So it's actually, he said that 3 games he thought was too much for both sides.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
But is it? I mean, fair for maybe Oilers fans to think and Canucks fans to think, but the more and more it's coming out, it is what it is.
Yeah. Leon also commented on the whole end of game sequence with Garland and McDavid and the schmozzle, as Rob Tichkowski put it yesterday, that was going on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, like that can get avoided. It doesn't even need to get to whatever happened at the end of the game, right? That's how I see it. That's, to me, clearly a penalty. He's trying to get back into the... Connor doesn't want to tangle with Garland in that situation. There's 12 seconds left. We're looking to score. We're not looking to tangle with anybody. So, but I know... I also know the game happens quick, and that's just, the refs aren't going to make the right call every single time. I understand that, but in that instance, I think that could have been avoided, but...
All right. I think Leon there's kind of saying the same things a lot of us were talking about yesterday. Should have been a penalty on Garland. the Oilers are trying to score. Though there still were a few seconds left on the clock when McDavid got up and went after Garland. He wasn't trying to get the puck for one last stab at the net. And as he said, he thought that was a penalty on Garland, which I think most of us talked about yesterday as well. Also, I included Mark Spector's question here in this one and Leon's answer. Let's go to the third clip there, Coop.
One of the offshoots is we all agree that Garland tangle thing for 59 minutes in a game, it's a penalty, like right away. They always call it. It lasted for 7 seconds. But for the last 10 seconds of the game, it's not a penalty. For the last 30 minutes of 30 seconds of a game, it's not a penalty. Did you have the same questions about that the rest of us would?
Absolutely. Doesn't make much sense to me, but I'm not the guy to make these decisions. But yes, that's what I'm trying to say, right? That's a penalty. Again, Conor does not want to tangle in that moment with any player. He's looking to score a goal to tie this game up. So he's certainly not the guy initiating it. So, but again, these things happen quick sometimes, and there's decisions made, and that's just the way it is sometimes.
All right, so that way basically Spec was saying, should the rules change in the last 30 seconds? And Leon saying, well, no, they shouldn't, which is an ongoing discussion about hockey. Do the rules change based on the score of the game, the time on the clock, the magnitude of the game, where we are in the playoffs, all that kind of stuff? That's been here's the thing, and there is part of me, Jay, that enjoys this discussion and enjoys talking about all these nuances of the game. And then there's the other side of me that says I'm a 50-year-old hockey fan who now gets to work as a sports talk show host in a hockey mad market. And I'm hearing the same things I used to hear when I would listen to John Short in the 1980s about refs and game management and changing the rules. So part of me is just like, hey, everybody, ain't going to change. I know that's very cynical.
I don't think that's cynical. I think that's factual.
Right. And how good would the refereeing have to be for people to think it was good?
Artificial.
It would never be perfect.
It would have to be artificial. It would have to be computer aided. And there'd have to be sensors on every player. Right. And the game would be lost. And you don't want that. You know what? There's been several instances where the Oilers have been in plays in the last minute that are a 50-50 call, and the ref decided not to call it. It's a two-way street. It's, do you really want it to come to that where they're calling everything and don't call it different in the last minute? Well, I think for most fans that now the dust is settled and Conor's out for 3 games, he'll be back, but he's out for the next 3 games. You're probably okay with the refs making judgment calls at the end of the game, not based off the rule book. Fair to say? Because it ain't going anywhere, like you just suggested.
No, but I guess the thing is that appeared to be quite a flagrant violation by Mr. Garland in terms of tackling.
But yes. But the reason I brought that up was because the argument was brought up then after. You have to call it. You have to. Well, there's a lot of penalties that go uncalled in the last, deciding minutes of a game.
Who are the refs tonight? I got to double check the game sheet. The referees are, boy, my eyesight's getting bad.
Grady Hamilton
and Trevor Hansen.
Yeah.
Like it or not, they're going to be heavily scrutinized by the crowd at Rogers Place tonight. Because I also feel...
Why do refs wear numbers?
Because they don't wear names. You got to differentiate them still.
Why? Who?
So the evaluators can be like, oh, you made that call, number 7. And I still think they want something that makes them unique. They used to have their names on the back of the jerseys, but then when they went on strike, Betten said, it was like, no, you'll wear numbers now, so you don't get your names back there.
Okay. Another thing that's solely for the purpose of them. Just piling
Another thing that's totally for the... Yes, I guess. One more here from Leon Draisaitl. He was asked, do star players get enough attention from the league? Or are enough penalty calls made for fouls against star players?
Maybe not quite enough, because to me that's just common sense. It doesn't, again, make much sense. When you have the puck, guys are trying to defend, and Conor has the puck an awful lot, and more than anyone, probably, right? So it should probably be more penalties called on him or the top players.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? Because McDavid has the puck so much, should there not be more penalty calls against him? Just because he's so fast, players have to foul him. Since McDavid came into the league, he has drawn the most penalties in the NHL. Dustin Nielsen looked that up earlier today. 344. You know who's next? Tom Wilson, who draws penalties for other reasons. 341. Then you know who's after that? Your buddy Brad Marchand, who draws penalties. So it's then it's Kadri, and then it's Tkachuk. So it's McDavid, and then it's a bunch of good players who are also agitating. So I would assume this means drawing a penalty into a 4-on-4 situation. So anyway, he does draw a lot of penalties. Could he draw even more, as Leon suggested there? Possibly. Will Oilers fans ever be satisfied with the number of penalties McDavid draws? No. I don't think that they would be. All right, we'll get to that Knobloch clip on the Capitals a little bit later on, Coop, because we do have a guest coming up. John Walton, play-by-play voice of the Capitals, is going to join us. They're having a great season, and we want to dive into that. Continue to hit that thumbs up on YouTube. Our first goal, our primary goal, is get to 100. If everybody did that right away, we would be well over 100, and we'd be into word of the day territory, and we'd be maybe even pushing towards 200 again. So give us that thumb. Encourage your friends and family and fellow sports fans to check out the station, either on YouTube, on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on the iHeartRadio app, or on the TuneIn app. Here comes the Coob with a sports update.
McDavid sits out for the first of his 3-game suspension with Alex Ovechkin and the league-leading Capitals rolling into town. Get set for the game right here on EST alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6. And there's 7 other games around the league, having the Lightning play the Canadiens, Detroit in Philadelphia, Rangers battling the Sens, and Dallas hosting Carolina. 3 games in the WHL sees the Pats battling the Tigers, the Wheat Kings, and Rockets going at it before the Giants and Thunderbirds drop the puck, while just 2 games dot the AJHL schedule, seeing Grand Prairie on the road in Bonnyville and the Kodiaks butting heads against the Grizzlies. Down south, the Bears have hired former Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as their next head coach, and Johnson joined the team in 2019 before becoming their offensive coordinator in 2022. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, the Vikings have signed Kevin O'Connell to a multi-year extension as their bench boss. And the Raptors hit the court with the Magic on a five-game NBA slate that sees the 76ers facing the Nuggets, Knicks, and Nets throwing it down before the Wizards challenge the Lakers. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years, their showroom offers all the best and latest in flooring, tiles, and area rugs. Find them at the corner of 184th Street and 107th Ave. They're open 7 days a week, and tell them EST sent you for 10% off your next purchase in-store or online at ParamountFlooring.ca. John Walton, play-by-play voice of the Capitals, joins the Reid Wilkins Show on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit GalloLLP.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Should be a great game at Rogers Place tonight. The Capitals' best team in the NHL. How about that? Coming into town to face your Edmonton Oilers. 7 o'clock game. We're going to have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. We're really glad to have Windsor Plywood Leduc on board to feature our Voices of the Game segment. Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know, and our voice of the game this afternoon. Always pleased to talk to John Walton. He's the play-by-play voice on the Capitals Radio Network. John, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Hey, John, can you hear us? Okay, we'll try again. He's definitely there. I might send him a text as well. Oh, there he is. I think we got him now. We can hear him in the background. Okay. That's okay. In the nasty chat, Nino Chukic, I think, for your ultimate NHL power play of all time. McInnes, Gretzky, Lemieux, Ovechkin, and Bobby Orr, and Grant Fuhrer net. So he's going with two defensemen. And where's another one here? Now you said Mike, the Michigan fan, had your he has his all Michigan power play.
Mm-hmm.
Hyman, Kyle Connor, Dylan Larkin, Quinn Hughes, Owen Power, and Marty Turco. That would still be a pretty good power.
Not bad.
Wouldn't
at
be
all.
maybe as elite as some of the other ones. So it would still be a pretty good power play. Just taking former Wolverines. Hey, we got you, John. How are you doing? Okay. I'll say that I'm going to tell him that. Guess we can't hear him. We'll do phone. I'm just going to let him know. All right. Every once in a while that happens. Oilers Capitals at 7 o'clock. In about an hour, by the way, we will deviate from the hockey talk for just a little bit. We got a very special guest at 4:40. Stevenson Bone is the new head coach of the U of A Golden Bears football team. If you're on YouTube, continue to flick the thumbs up as we are quickly approaching 100, long before the first hour of the show. Should I give this? I'll give the second clue now. In the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game, text in your guesses to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. You're trying to win a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. The second clue is fourth. First clue, Alabama. Second clue, fourth. I wonder if somebody will get it this early. You don't think they will, Jay?
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Somebody got David Viborny after one clue.
William Mike Spear, noted poet laureate of the Reid Wilkins show. Hey guys, Ultimate PP, Gretzky, Ovi, McDavid, Esposito, net front. This is one that I don't know. I've heard bumper a few times, but the net front presence is very important.
Can you say that again?
Gretzky, Ovi, McDavid, Esposito, net front.
Yeah.
Ally Frady's big point shot, and Marty Turco.
That's a good one. I mean, Esposito, I even looked at that and I was like, do I put Phil Esposito on? No, I didn't see him play. I can remember him a little bit when I was pretty small. But yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Do we have John? Yes. Okay. John, I'll let you know. You were briefly on our station on video, but the mics weren't working, so I'm still glad you got time for this to do it on phone. How are you doing, sir? It's always good to talk to you.
I am doing well, Reid. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking time to do this. My co-host Jay here as well. He'll chime in with a couple questions as we move along. Look, I got to dive right in. You know all about the Capitals, so of course last year they sneak in, get into the playoffs. Good story. I don't seem to recall there being that much hype around them this season. I feel like the preseason picks are they even going to get back into the playoffs? Well, forget about that. They might win the President's Trophy. What has clicked so well for this team this year?
Well, it's funny. I think in Washington, the thought was, this team is improved from last year. They filled a lot of holes. They brought in Matt Roy, Pierre-Luc Dubois, unlocked him, and boy, you've got another top six center to go alongside Dylan Strome, and being able to address, other needs. You needed another goalie, so you bring in Logan Thompson, and 7 guys assimilated really well. I laugh at, they always have the daily percentages of, what's the likelihood of making the playoffs. And on opening night, they had the Capitals on Money Puck of making the playoffs at 22%, which was always going to be higher than that. And I'm not a big believer in it, if I'm being honest with you. And I'm not even that big a believer when they say it's 99.999% they get in and 12% to win the cup and all of that. They're the same team as they were in October, and they've had the fortune of good health, and they have a tremendous coach. They've gotten very good goaltending. They are solid 1 to 6 on the back end, and even have a couple of guys in reserve. They can even take a little bit of a hit there. They haven't really at all. It's been 34 games. This group's been together now on the back end. So still trying to find their way a little bit lately in the top 6. They're not scoring nearly as much as they were in October, November, but they are a really good hockey team. And it's funny because the mantra in the room early was people don't think we're very good, but we think we're very good. And now it's, everybody puts their best game up against us because we're the best team in the league. So it's funny. It's been a couple of seasons in one here in more than one way. But boy, this is going to be a fun one tonight. Best of the West, best of the East. Let's go.
All right. I'm not ignoring the Ovechkin story, but you mentioned the coaching, and that's Spencer Carberry. And Jay and I were talking in the last segment. I mean, Jack Adams' favorite, and a guy like I didn't know much about him before he got hired by the Capitals last season. What is the special touch that Spencer Carberry has as the head coach of this team?
Incredibly intelligent and very good at communicating what he sees in a game, relating to players well, good at communication. There's not a box that he doesn't check, and that goes for his staff too. It's not just him, but I've known him longer, and I think a lot of people in this organization have. Just going back to, he got South Carolina to the Kelly Cup final in 2015. That's in the Capitals organization. He was coaching at Hershey and was the coach of the year in the American Hockey League, but never really got a chance to show in the playoffs because when he was there, that's when COVID hit, and there was no Calder Cup there for a couple of years. So there was maybe that's why it leads to a little bit of the unknown, except for the fact that he goes to Toronto and he runs the power play, and maybe the last touch before really being ready for an NHL head job was working in the Toronto market and working with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and Nylander and the rest on the power play and running the power play in Toronto, which is probably harder than a lot of head coaching jobs, if we're being honest. And he did it so well. And when the time came to find a new coach, post Peter Laviolette for the Capitals, he'd always been on Washington's radar because he grew up in this organization. But to watch him come back, to do the job he's done, to have this team in the position they're in, listen, he would tell you that he wouldn't expect that this would have been this good, at least as far as record. I don't think anyone would be being honest if they said, oh, yeah, they're going to be right at the top of the Eastern Conference. I thought they'd be a playoff team. I did not know to the depth that they had filled their off-season holes and have had good health with the saving of Ovechkin, of course, who was out for 6 weeks. But other than that, they've been in pretty good shape in that department. And, here they are at the top of the league as they come into Edmonton here tonight.
John Walton joining us, play-by-play for Capitals Radio Network. John, you got Jay here. Obviously, there was something going on in Washington yesterday. There was a presidential inauguration. How did that affect the travel for the Capitals to start this road trip?
It was not all that bad. We leave out of Dulles, so we're not really close to downtown. I live in the city, so getting out of the city was a little more problematic than usual. But yeah, very weird to see everything going on in our building. The ice was underneath where the president was yesterday, so very odd to see our building and pan to the right direction, and you see the radio booth there. I'm like, that's not a hockey game going on today. So otherwise, not bad. I mean, we got in here with a day in advance. We always try to do that, day of practice and if the schedule allows, to be able to get on site for a couple of days. So we've actually been here since Sunday and are leaving for Seattle tonight. So, no, all in all, travel, I can't really complain too much. We got in here fine, day of practice, day in the city yesterday, and ready to go tonight.
I noticed on your Twitter bio that, people usually keep the Twitter bio to, limited characters, pretty brief. But yet you chose to put this on there, and I want to know more about it, John. 2024 MSE Top Golf Champion is in your Twitter bio. Do tell.
We have Monumental Sports and Entertainment is the Capitals and the Wizards, and I do like to golf, and I don't always know where it's going, but on that particular day, I was ringing them off the back wall at Topgolf National Harbor in Washington. And surprised me, too, because there were probably like 600 people there, and they said that I had the best score, which I can assure you, fellas, is the first time I won anything at golf in my life. So I figured I better say something about it in a more public forum because it may never happen again.
Well, and to tie this back to Ovechkin, there was that video. Wasn't there some video of him getting a hole-in-one probably 12 years ago?
The first time he golfed.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. So that's a cool story. I had a question about Ovechkin, but I'm going to bring in a listener question about Ovechkin, John. We have a listener in our chat. He goes by the handle Mex Bezozu. And this is a Voices of the Game segment where we, feature play-by-play voices and other people who talk about sports. So I got to give Mex this question. Does Mr. Walton have a script already prepared for when Ovechkin breaks the goals record?
Well, I appreciate the ask. The answer is no. Although, you know what? It's funny because I've been asked that a few times now, and I have given it more thought probably just in the abstract than I have anything else I've ever done, only because I am never been, nor will I be, someone who scripts things out. And I think the reason for that, in no matter whatever the sport is that, like when the Caps won the Cup in 2018, I don't know how they're going to win it. I don't know that they're going to come from behind in the third period and win it the way they do, or they're counting it down in a one-goal game. It's drama all the way to the end. If they're blowing them out in Game 5, and maybe you've got a little bit more time to wax poetic about some things. But for me, it's always just been, you hope to get it right. You hope whatever is firing in your brain and what you're witnessing, and you're able to throw it out there and it resonates with people. And, Kuznetsov scoring in Pittsburgh in 2018, I think we did okay there. But that's kind of the way I've looked at it. But this is different, and I've had it brought up to me, and I've reflected on it. I think it's right that this, what's going to happen. You don't know how he's going to score it. 500 was a perfect in-the-office power play goal against Andrew Hammond and the Ottawa Senators. 600 was against Winnipeg and scared me to death because he had a jam and a rebound. And did he get it? Did he not? He did. Got it right, but still scary. 700 kind of put us to sleep because he was about 7 or 8 games he hadn't scored it. It was a day game in New Jersey. It was in the third period. We were playing Pittsburgh the next day, and you just felt like, oh, yeah, it's going to come tomorrow against the Penguins. And it didn't. It was a pass behind the net, and boom, and all of a sudden it's there. So you just don't know how it's going to happen unless it's 895, in which case you understand the magnitude of it. Who doesn't, especially in this country? So as I get closer, I'm sure there'll be maybe a little more reflection than there would normally be. It's just such a unique animal. It's a unicorn. I mean, everybody wants to call a Stanley Cup. Everybody in my line wants to be a play-by-play guy in the NHL. Got to do the Cup, got to, work in the NHL now for the last 14 years. But I couldn't have imagined doing this. I mean, who does? I mean, you think about a Stanley Cup winner, you don't think about something that's so unbreakable and so rare. So very much looking forward to it. Can't wait. And however it comes out, I hope it works out okay. Get it right. No, nothing off the breezers or anything like that. Just something clean would be nice.
I'll just ask you one more about Ovechkin, and then we'll let you go. And thanks for being so generous with your time. he's been in the league a long time. He's had media attention and fan attention a long time. He's an outgoing personality. But how now is he handling every city? Probably every media scrum asked about the record, asked about the timing. Like how is a guy who's used to dealing with expectations and questions dealing with all these expectations and questions?
I think it's a fair question, and I would say, as someone who has been in every media scrum this year, whether it be in Toronto or whether it be at home or whether it be in Montreal or other places, I honestly think the biggest media scrum I've seen for him was today here in Edmonton, which is awesome. And I think there's almost an energy that comes with that. I think it is a little tiring for those who are him and having to answer questions, and a lot of it is the same stuff. And I don't know that it was, I thought it was pretty good today. I'm not the one answering them, but just, and walking around and talking with some of our assistant coaches and even a little bit with the players, like there's a little bit of a vibe when you're here, and it's, or in a place like Toronto or Montreal where, when you're in Canada and a lot of people are paying attention to the record, and it's Gretzky's record, and, it's just an energy level that I don't know that we get in every city we go to. So I think it feels a little more real, maybe it does to him too. I don't know. But it did certainly for me, just in being in the scrum today and listening to the answers and listening to the locals here. This is their one crack at him, right? But it's the one crack for every place we go to. It's like, oh, he's in town, we got to go talk to him. And it very much was today. But good on Edmonton, because I'm telling you, I think it was the biggest scrum I've seen for him all year. And that even tops Toronto. I think there was there was a lot of folks there today, lots of cameras and lots of coverage. It was cool.
That's awesome. John, thanks for doing this, especially on a game day. Too bad we couldn't get the video going, but I now sit right in front of the visiting radio booth in the Rogers Place press box, so I'll turn around and give you a little wave tonight.
Oh, that sounds great, and your listenership was spared seeing my mug, so maybe that was all for the best anyway. But we look forward to seeing you tonight.
Right on. Thank you, John. John Walton checking in. Voices of the Game presented by Windsor, Plywood, Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. More than just plywood, everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor, Plywood, Leduc, the experts you need to know. John, the radio play-by-play voice of the Washington Capitals, another great voice. You can see why he's been on the radio for several years. Knows a lot about the Capitals history, and all over Ovechkin as he chases this record.
Beautiful voice, man. It is honestly, Reid, and this is maybe a little behind the curtains, but for me to be now doing this and interviewing all these impressive voices, and you get why someone like that is, and it seems like the great ones do it for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's sure a reason for it. And they're just all such giving people of their time as well. It's fantastic. It's a nice community. And everybody just loves you, Reid.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's fine. I should say a little bit, though I'm sure it's public. He was actually the second person I texted. I texted Craig Laughlin, who does color, and I did not realize he is having open heart surgery next week.
Oh,
so he's not on the road trip. I was like, oh my goodness, Craig, I didn't know that. So all the best. But John's great to get on the show as well. All right. So the two clues for Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game are Alabama and 4th. We don't have a winner. Please text your guesses to 780-218-9999, the River Korean box. I'll say this incorrect answer, because it makes sense, but it's not correct. Pizza Ghost put it in the nasty chat, but don't guess in the nasty chat, everybody. He put in Cam Talbot, who went to Alabama Huntsville and was 4th in the Vezina Trophy voting in 2017. Good thinking. It's not Cam Talbot though. So I'll save everybody thinking, oh, it might be Talbot, and then they pass it off to the River Korean box. We are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We'll get to more of your feedback on the Edmonton Oilers, a little bit of reaction to the Draisaitl comments as well. A break, and then Zachary Kubish with the sports update.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you've got to do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Edmonton hosts the Washington Capitals, and Alexander Ovechkin as Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas preview the game during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 6 o'clock right here on EST. We also have the Sabres challenging the Canucks, Anaheim hosting Florida, San Jose in Nashville, and the Canadiens dropping the puck against the Lightning, seeing 8 games around the NHL. And 3 games in the WHL has the Pats battling the Tigers, the Wheat Kings and Rockets going at it before the Giants and Thunderbirds drop the puck, with just 2 games dotting the AJHL slate, having Grand Prairie on the road in Bonnyville and the Kodiaks butting heads against the Grizzlies. And according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, the Patriots are expected to name Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator, while in Minnesota, head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension with the Vikings. For the Bears, they've hired Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Lions, as their next head coach. Basketball has the Raptors and Magic tip-off, while the Trailblazers meet the Heat and the 76ers take on the Nuggets on a 5-game schedule. I'm Zachary Kubish. For your sports update, the second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Coob, where did you find this music?
The YouTube audio library.
The YouTube audio library. You just put in odd music inappropriate for a sports show, and then you play that.
You said jazz, so I thought this was a bit jazzy.
This is not jazz.
I don't know everything about jazz. I like jazz, but I'm new to liking it, and I really know very little. But I don't think this would be categorized as jazz.
This could be in the soundtrack in the background of a scene in the movie Snatch. 100%.
So it's a cutter. I'm cutting it.
I would not use this again if I were in your role. No! Portions of this hour, but not that music, presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra cool. TrackMan Golf Simulators now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. Zachary Kubish working behind the scenes. He's Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. We're with you until 6 o'clock. Then the stream goes over to Tom and Hernan for the Oil Stream pregame show. Oh, sorry.
You know, Coop, I think that song could have morphed into something more jazz-like. The start of it was not there. So, you know, maybe we shouldn't just clip it just yet. We can explore it in the whatever the room is we call over there a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
it has hope.
Yeah, it has hope. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. So let's get to a quick update, or get more, because we're getting a lot of submissions on this for the off-topic topic for William Huff. Your all-time greatest power play unit that you could assemble using any players you want in the National Hockey League. So let's give a Wanix.
Oh, fun.
Gretzky, McDavid, Crosby, Lemieux, and he puts Patrick Lalime in net.
Of course.
Now, actually, is that the first Crosby? It's only the first or second Crosby. That's what's the fun thing about this list. You're leaving off epically good players.
Well, yeah. And that's why mine's going to really make you question things.
What? Reality? Your intelligence?
It just has to go with that's who I know.
Okay, well, that's fine.
You know what I mean? That's who I watched.
Well, that's part of it. Who did you watch? Who did you like?
And that's who I know.
For all we know, Maurice Richard and Doug Harvey should be on this. I actually considered putting Rocket Richard on this list. He was one of the greatest goal scorers of all time.
His name's the Rocket.
But I was like, I don't know. Can I put that on there? I mean, they changed the rules. They changed the power play rules during the heyday of that era of the Canadians, that if they scored, the player came back on the ice. It used to be that the player who committed the infraction had to serve the entire 2 minutes. Just so that's what it's like now with a 5-minute penalty. They had that for a 2-minute penalty. So are we foolish not to have somebody from that era of the Canadians on our teams? Probably.
Well, it's just not many people can relate. You know,
right?
We'd have to be much older to be able to actually have been there. Big Uke says McDavid, Ovi, Wayne. I don't know which Wayne he's talking about. There's been several Waynes that have played. I'm assuming
Wayne
Gretzky.
Primo, probably.
Probably Primo. Okay, so McDavid, Ovi, Wayne Primo, Lindros, and Turco.
Okay. It's just your average Canadian says he puts himself in net, like Joaquin did. Pronger as the point man, Gretzky, Lemieux, McDavid, and Ryan Smith. How about that?
Norman to Combine. Gretzky, Mario, I'm assuming Lemieux, Ryan Smith, Al McInnes, Brett Hull, Patty Waugh.
Oh, pretty good. Yeah. So again, Brett Hull, that's the first Brett Hull mention, is it not? Third all time in power play goals.
Grumpy Cat says that was fun music, Zach. I don't think Reid can fire you, but probably not worth the risk. LOL.
I can't, and I'm just giving you a hard time.
We are.
I know you're working hard.
Actually,
it was a little surprising, but it's fun.
Coob, I think you may have just found a hit because people are chiming in, whether it be in the River Cree inbox or in the Nasty Chat, saying they liked it. So
I think I'm the only one that was kind of didn't like it. So we got to keep using it.
Reid and I have terrible taste in music.
I never asked you guys anyway. No, I'm kidding.
That's true.
So that is. Do you have any more power plays, or we'll do a little more later? We'll do ours later. Let's do a couple more from listeners.
What are you? Okay, so do you have any other from people here?
I have Dustin's. Where's my book? You want me to do Dustin's now?
Yeah.
He didn't pick a goalie.
I'm caught up.
Ovechkin, Gretzky, McDavid, McInnes, and Lemieux. Pretty good. Ovechkin, Gretzky, McDavid, McInnes, and Lemieux. I think with McDavid, just for the zone entry alone, that's why I put him on mine. He's just going to skate the puck into the other team's end. And you can't stop him.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
It really is. It's another new sound drop we have. Oh, my goodness.
It's a beautiful.
That's Dave Jameson. Yeah. Did he say that on the Hangout the other day?
Yeah, he did.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
That's pretty good. Dave J. All right.
Hey, have you ever watched? Why can't I say the name of the room over here?
What, the bullpen?
The bullpen. You ever been in the bullpen and really studied and looked and observed how Hernan eats?
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
We're Hernan.
He's here. He's sorry. He's a casualty.
You know what? You know what I think they should actually do for an activity while they're on the Hangout?
This is like an anaconda taking.
Not what I was thinking.
No.
No.
Oh,
the Tom one.
Say it again.
You know what I think they should do for an activity while they're all on the Hangout?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. We'll get better. We're just easing our way in there. We get a couple more.
Yeah, that's new. They're so good at it on the Nielsen show.
It takes time.
They
takes practice.
They just know exactly where they're going with everything.
Dusty works this thing like a magician.
We are over 100 thumbs, so keep hammering those. If everybody did it now, we would also get to 130, which is word of the day territory. We've got to 200 on, 2 shows in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty good. So
Let's
keep those coming.
Let's keep it going.
Time for buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. On Instagram, his handle is Damon Bunting Real Estate. Let's go. Let's just do some text if you got any coming in. People reacting to tonight's game, Draisaitl, comments, Ovi, record chase, all that kind of stuff.
Do you think people actually are reacting, Reid? Of course they are. This comes in from Tico. Oilers are cooked without McDavid. He is the best ever at getting the puck into the offensive zone and then hanging on to it. The Oilers will have to grind on the forecheck to score goals, and they simply aren't built that way. That comes in from Tico.
Okay. I would disagree that the Oilers can't grind and forecheck for goals. I don't think they score just purely off the rush anymore. I think they have players who can effectively have those wear down type of shifts and create. The fourth line created was it in Colorado when Kulak got the goal? Wasn't that Philp and Perry? Was it Jeff Skinner in that game? I remember when Kulak shot from the line. Philp and Perry for sure were on the ice for that. So I do think they have players who can get in there and grind. I don't think the Oilers are cooked without McDavid. I still think they have a very good lineup. Of course, losing the fastest skater and one of the elite point producers in the league will hurt. I do think that's a fair comment about zone entries. Because what did he say? They're not going to be able to get the puck into the other team's end. I think they'll be able to get the puck into the other team's end, but it doesn't happen as quickly nor as efficiently when McDavid. He's a one-man zone entry. Like when he gets the puck in his own end at the top of the circle and starts skating, you know that the Oilers are going to be on offense in 4 seconds. How often is he poke checked at the blue line or squeezed out of the play? Not often.
And this question really hones in on that. This comes in from Pond Wanderer. Who is going to gain zone entry on the power play? Connor always makes it look so easy. Serious question.
That is a good question as well. So will they drop it to Draisaitl?
I think or
Nuge,
because this has happened before where Connor's been out of the lineup, and I think it was Leon that would carry it in.
But nobody's as fast as McDavid or as shifty getting it in. They may do where somebody carries it to the blue line and then they pass it across to a guy along the boards and go from there. But that's to me a bigger question about how they get the puck into the end on the power play than 5-on-5, because the bottom 6 lines. The bottom 2 lines, the bottom 6 players aren't really going to be affected.
Yeah.
Draisaitl's probably going to be with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. So Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and whoever it's going to be, Skinner, Kapanen, whatever, that'll be affected. The other 9 forwards aren't really going to be that affected 5-on-5 about how they get the puck into the end and try to create offensively. On the power play, yes. Who gets it? How do they get it in? And who replaces McDavid on the power play?
Well, and how much time is wasted trying to get it in where before it was effortless?
Right.
Connor McDavid makes it look very easy. He makes something very difficult look very easy. Who's going to do that? Is Draisaitl going to be the guy? Is there the confidence level of doing that? That takes a certain amount of confidence to be able to, stick handle your way through the blue line and then, make a backhanded saucer pass to the other wing where Nuge is waiting for it.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who takes McDavid's spot on the power play?
Well, I was thinking about that, and I can't help but think, and we're looking at the line projections, that why don't you put a guy like Jeff Skinner there? Got good hands. He can move the puck around. Maybe he would even shoot a little bit more than McDavid from that spot, because McDavid's more likely to pass. That's not a strong suit for Skinner, but scoring is. So I don't know. Why not try that? Now, have they practiced that? Have they run through that? Because he's been so far down in the lineup or scratched. Has he even gotten reps on the first team power play?
I think they will put Victor Arvidsson on the power play, because you can put him on the left side with a right shot. He's not afraid to shoot the puck. Clearly, he's not going to be as dynamic as McDavid or control the puck. But then you can have Draisaitl on the right side, Arvidsson on the left side. I suppose the other option, and I've seen people suggest this too, is do you put Ekholm out there? And you have just keep Ekholm and Bouchard together. I don't think that's how they're going to go. I think they're going to add another forward. I don't think it'll be Jeff Skinner just because of how Jeff Skinner has been deployed this season. I think it'll be Arvidsson. I wonder if Corey Perry might get a look at it as well, just because of his experience, and he still has good hands. Though he's kind of redundant with Hyman, perhaps, in the role that they would play on the power play. So that's why I think it's going to be Arvidsson.
Fair enough. Yep. Fair enough. Need somebody that can continue moving the puck and move it through that offense, right?
Right.
It won't end on the stick of Arvidsson or Skinner or Perry. Now, I thought Perry might be too much of a net front presence.
Well, that's the thing. He kind of does what Hyman does.
Yeah.
And if he's off on the side and there's puck retrieval, he's not as quick. I mean, Bronco Nick is saying Arvidsson replaces Connor because he's a right. I know they're losing a left shot, but I think because Arvidsson is a right shot, then you can camp him out on that other wing for a one-timer or a pass across to Leon or into the middle position for Nugent Hopkins or Hyman.
This comes in from Al the Alien. Good comments by Leon today. Thought he was critical of the league without crossing the line. I wish more big-name players spoke up to the point to point out the league's shortcomings. Things won't get fixed if the Stars don't force things to be acknowledged.
Well, I think that's a good point. I mean, certain players have more clout than others, right? If give me a random player off Washington. If Martin Ferhavari says there's too much slashing in the NHL, nobody cares. If Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Austin Matthews and Sidney Crosby, I'm just picking slashing as an example, all said there's too much slashing or whatever, the league might be more inclined to listen because those players are going to get more publicity. Again, my cynical other side of that says, well, when has the league ever really cared what any player has said?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I hate to say that, but
I just don't know that the league, well, okay, let's put it this way. If it was getting so bad that the Oilers stopped selling out their games or teams around the league stopped selling out their games that have stars on them, then the league would take notice, because guess who else would take notice? The owners.
Right.
That's the only way you can ever dictate anything the NHL does. I'm sorry. Other than that, they simply won't. They won't move mountains for much.
I don't buy this suggestion. I don't know where it came from. I saw Rashad kind of shot it down this morning that Connor McDavid is going to start boycotting or refusing to do as much to promote the league.
When we brought that up yesterday, I thought that was a joke. And I said, sure, go ahead. But people are actually thinking he would?
He wouldn't.
He's going to wear a Team Canada jersey with Sidney Crosby, with Nathan McKinnon.
No, these guys want to do their jobs, and their job is to play hockey. So I don't think they're going to think like, okay, I'm not going to do. I think they recognize. I mean, to me that would be almost an immature response. Well, you didn't call holding on Conor Garland, so I'm only going to do one media scrum a month instead of 2 a week.
Yeah, you think?
And I'm going to miss an All-Star game. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I just don't think they would react that way.
No, and I forget who was talking about it. I think it was on the morning show, or maybe the Hangout. I don't know. But Connor gets 3 games off just past the halfway point of this season. That's not the worst thing in the world for Connor McDavid to get a break.
That's an interesting way to look at it. And
right?
He's going to have to play maybe 4 extra games at the Four Nations face-off.
I know, but I mean, would you? Obviously, you'd rather him be in the lineup.
You'd rather him be in the lineup.
But try and look at the positive side here. He's going to have some fresh legs coming back when the Kraken are in town.
708, new area code, everybody. It's just my phone. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox for your text messages. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. All right, we'll have a fun top 3 coming up. We'll get to more of your messages as well. We'll also have Stevenson Bone on the show. He's the new head coach of the U of A football team. It's Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The McDavid-less Oilers challenge Ovechkin and his Capitals here in Edmonton with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Live alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. to set you up for the action at 6 o'clock right here on EST. Out west, it's the Canucks hosting the Sabres, the Panthers visiting Anaheim, while the Hurricanes go at it with the Stars, having 8 games in the NHL. And 3 games dot the WHL slate as the Pats battle the Tigers. The Wheat Kings and Rockets go at it before the Giants and Thunderbirds drop the puck. And there's 2 games in the AJHL, seeing Grand Prairie on the road in Bonnyville and the Kodiaks butting heads against the Grizzlies. And according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, the Patriots are expected to name Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator, while in Minnesota, head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension with the Vikings. And for the Bears, they've hired Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Lions, as their next head coach. On the court, the 10-32 Raptors meet the 23-21 Magic. 4 other games in the NBA has Philly out in Denver, the Knicks and Nets throwing it down, while the Wizards try and upset the Lakers. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor, Plywood, Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They sell doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got some plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor, Plywood, Leduc today. Reid's Top 3 brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Okay, game tonight at 7. I'll be going to Rogers Place right after the show. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right after the conclusion of this program. They'll be on after the game as well with the postgame show to break it down. The Capitals have won 4 in a row. They are 7-0-3 in their last 10. The Oilers are 8-2 in their last 10. Both these teams are doing great, so it should be a fun one tonight, even without McDavid in the lineup. Clue now? Probably a clue now, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Third clue. Third clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guess to the River Cree box 780-218-9999. The third clue is 1983. So the clues are Alabama, 4th, 1983. Will we get a winner? Well, eventually we will.
TBD, brah.
This one, somebody might get it now. Certainly if it goes to the 5th one. If it goes to the 5th one, somebody's going to win it.
A few more texts here, Reid, have come in. I love watching Ovechkin. No one has ever fired the puck like he can. He's the greatest goal scorer of all time. The Count of Westmount.
Oh. Wonder if he's listening from the mall. Well, we have somebody listening while ice fishing.
Ice fishing. Let us know if you've caught anything.
Okay. The greatest goal scorer of all time is Mario Lemieux.
According to
me. I'm serious. I think if I were to... Now, again, I didn't see Maurice Richard. I didn't see Gordie Howe. I'm just looking at the list. There are several players who scored a lot. I didn't see Bobby Hull. And I know that the all-time total, Mario Lemieux with 690 goals is 11th all-time. He only played 915 games. Think about that. I think, and look, this is not disrespectful to Ovechkin or that person's opinion, but if you were to ask me who is the greatest goal scorer of all time, I would say Mario Lemieux, because he could do it so many different ways. He could beat you one-on-one. He could beat you one-on-3. He could do it from a sharp angle. He could do it with his feet behind the net and with that incredible reach his stick out front and still pick a corner. I think the greatest goal scorer of all time in terms of versatility of scoring and just being deadly from anywhere. I guess you'd say, well, Lemieux didn't have a one-timer like Ovechkin did. Okay, fair enough. I think Mario Lemieux is the greatest goal scorer of all time. Bronco Nick says it's Mike Bossy. Bossy was also good. His career got shortened. So this is I'm quibbling here, but as people know, I do that. There's a difference between being the NHL all-time goals leader and being the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Mario Lemieux scored at a clip. He'd score a goal in 75% of the games he played. He scored a goal. Right now, Alexander Ovechkin for his career is scoring a goal in 60% of the games he's playing.
So you're doing goals per game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what you should base your reasoning on. Is if you look at that, Mario had 690 goals in 915 games.
Right.
He's on the same. You said it earlier. Alexander Ovechkin is scoring 2 goals every 3 games
this year. Yes.
That's what Mario did his whole career.
Right.
Essentially. Not to the number, but pretty damn close.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I just think, and I saw Mario play, and I saw what he was able to accomplish. I mean, he has that famous goal against Minnesota in the '91 Cup final, where it was the Bob Cole. There he is! Look at Lemieux! And he goes through the 2 guys and slides into the net, and I think it was John Casey. Wasn't it John Casey in net for the Minnesota North Stars? And then the accurate wrist shot, the reach, the power. I think the greatest goal scorer of all time is Mario Lemieux.
I don't think you could even. I don't know, Reid. Could you argue that?
Oh, I think anybody could argue anything they wanted.
Well, sure,
but they'd have to defend
the
it.
most goals scored. You cannot argue.
No,
that's a absolute answer. The most productive and best goal scorer. Would you associate the best with most productive? In most instances, you would.
Yeah, I would say it would have to be somebody who could score, who scored goals at a high rate, like as you were saying.
He scored at the highest rate. It's not even close.
So and then who did it for an extended period of time, which Mario did, even though his career was cut short of below 1,000 games, and then just the visual aspect of how deadly is this guy from any area of the ice. Now, Ovechkin's pretty deadly, don't get me wrong. And maybe you could argue, well, Ovechkin had more ability to score from distance than Mario. Fair enough. But I think Mario had more touch and versatility in tight than maybe anybody else. And again, the power. How are you going to stop me?
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, if you're looking at it that way, then Mike Bossy's got to be up there, if not first. He scored in 76% of the games he played in.
So is that he scored in that many, or is that his goals for per game?
No, goals per game so he had 573 goals in 752 games played.
Okay, so he had hat tricks.
76%.
So he didn't actually. He scored 0.76 goals per game. That's different than scoring in 76% of your games, right?
Right. Sorry, and that would be the same for
Mario.
Mario.
What you're saying, yeah, right.
It's same. In
so
this instance,
Bossy's is higher than Mario's.
That's right.
So that'd be another argument there too. Bossy was pretty deadly. It's a fun argument for sure, But if somebody said to me, who's the greatest goal scorer of all time? I mean, Matt Hyman made a good point. Bossy scored 50 goals every year except for his last one. That's pretty amazing. I just think Lemieux's versatility with the combination of the power and the speed, I would put him number one. That's no knock against Ovechkin. I would just think historically, it's like you need one player on the ice late in the game to score a goal. I would put it. I would put it. I would put Mario.
He was a complete package, right?
Yeah. The Edmonton Oilers have just put out a statement on Connor McDavid's suspension as of 4/26. Here it is, the entire statement. I will read it now. The Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week. So in other words, they're not going to appeal it. We were asked about that yesterday. Pretty definite that they won't appeal it. And they're basically saying, hey, everybody, we hear you. It sucks. Right? Did they need to put this out?
Okay.
I think maybe they just wanted to say, I think this is a way of them saying we're not going to appeal it without saying we're not going to appeal it. And then they said, well, to make everybody feel better, we're going to say, I mean, we support him through this process. It's not really a process. He can't play. Like, he's not recovering from an injury or dealing with a tragedy. The Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. Fair enough. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week. Okay.
Thanks. I thought I saw this morning.
Is this a non-announcement announcement?
It's probably.
But basically, what they're basically saying, we're not going to appeal this. If they're saying he's going to be back against Seattle next week,
that was out this morning, though. Was it not? I saw something on Twitter this morning that said no appeal.
Yeah, well, we didn't think they were going to appeal it. Speculation even yesterday. Now, I guess this is the team saying it. It was somebody reporting it this morning that there wouldn't be an appeal. So they're basically coming out and saying it.
Grumpy Cat says, I think you can only appeal if it is 5 or more games.
Oh, that might be true, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't know. Kind of like, why put that out? Why bother? Like, that's a non-statement statement. Hey, everybody, like, it's okay you feel bad. Okay, thanks.
We're still here.
Yeah. Like, this is, I don't know. I find that almost humorous that that's what they put out.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, thanks.
Like, I don't know whose idea that was. Well, whatever. To me, that's almost that they're sitting around overthinking this.
Yeah.
Well, we better tell the fans that it's okay that they're mad and that we're disappointed too. Oh, really? You're disappointed the guy who makes you millions of dollars every year is not playing? Okay, thanks.
What? What have you said as an organization? Nothing. Well, we must say something.
Right.
Well, let's say nothing.
Sometimes you don't have to.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. Quaddy says, I wish that this was the statement. As an organization, we also think this sucks ass. Yeah, well. What is this one? Harry L. I'll just say Harry. It's 3 games. Nothing we can do. Let's move on. Well, yes, I think we'd moved on this show. OEG deciding let's not quite move on yet. Just remind everybody McDavid's going to return, and we don't like what happened. Okay. Fascinating stuff.
I wonder what if they're trying to say that they support him and wondering what he's going to be doing during his 3-day suspension.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting if they were saying in lieu of playing the games tonight, Thursday night, and Saturday afternoon, Connor McDavid will be visiting local Dungeons and Dragons and Magic clubs and taking part in the games with people
Dungeons and Dragons.
who can't attend games themselves. Oh, that's I don't know. I find this a little unusual. And it says by EdmontonOilers.com staff. Well, they're not responsible for the statement, obviously. The Edmonton, who's making the statement? Cates? Jackson? Bowman? Really, that's who's making the statement, right? Did Daryl Cates call the league? Did he call Bettman? That's what I'd be more interested to know. Did Jackson or Bowman call Peros? What was said in the hearing? That's more what I would want to know than this statement.
I don't know.
The Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week. Did the Canucks put out a statement for Tyler Myers?
I can't take it anymore.
Just checking the Canucks Twitter account. Maybe the Canucks will now be compelled to put out a statement too about this. Okay. Anyway, that's a side note. All right. I'm not going to talk about the non-news statement that the Oilers put out to try to appease people unnecessarily. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Website is jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. More on the Oilers and Capitals, and we'll visit a new head coach in town when we get back.
McDavid sits out for the first game of his 3-game suspension when Alex Ovechkin and the league-leading Capitals rolled to town. You can get set for the game right here on EST alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6. And there's 7 other games around the league, having the Lightning play the Canadiens, Detroit in Philadelphia, the Rangers battling the Sens, and Dallas hosting Carolina. In the WHL, it's the Thunderbirds and Giants, while Kelowna and Brandon duke it out, and the Pats meet the Tigers. The AJHL has just 2 games, with the Pontiac and the Storm dropping the puck, while Camrose is out in Olds. Down south, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension in Minnesota. The Bears have signed Ben Johnson as their bench boss, and Ian Rappaport has reported that the Patriots are expecting to hire Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator. And the Raptors hit the court once again with the Magic tonight on a 5-game slate that also sees the 76ers facing the Nuggets, Knicks and Nets throwing it down before Washington Wizards challenge the Lakers. This sports update is brought to you by Find. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Find out how you can make an impact at findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. That's 780-988-1717. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after these messages. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Suite. Get your tickets now at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
All right, leading you into the Oil Stream pregame show at 6, and then Oilers and Capitals at 7. Portions of this hour on the Reid Wilkins Show, presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each, and a mountain of flavors to savor. Flavor of the month in January, passion fruit habanero. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. All right. Yeah, plenty more on the Oilers and Capitals between 5 and 6. We do want to welcome to Edmonton the new head coach of the University of Alberta Golden Bears football team. He was unveiled as the head coach on Friday, Stevenson Bone. Stevenson, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing? Oh, hang on, Stevenson. We didn't hear your answer there. We just had that on mute. How are you doing?
Doing well. Can you hear me?
We got you now. Thanks for bearing with us. And I know it's a busy time for you, and Jay, as a Golden Bears alum, is going to handle most of the questions, but I'll just kind of kick it off. How are you feeling? Like, how have the last few days been since you got the job and it all became public?
I got the job on Thursday, and super excited. I couldn't wait. I flew out here on Saturday morning, already trying to find a place to live here in this beautiful city and get going. I know there's a lot of recruits that we have to sign and get guys into this current recruiting class. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I was eager to come out here and get it done. So, super excited and looking forward to the challenge of being the next head.
Stevenson, just wanted to say congrats on behalf of the alumni. Anybody that's been involved, no matter how long ago it's been, how current or recent it's been, we all wish you the best and want to see this team succeed, obviously. And I just wanted to ask you about the interview process itself. And why do you think ultimately that you were chosen to be the 29th head coach of the Golden Bears football team?
That's a great question, Jay. I think that a couple reasons. First of all, I know the Canada West Conference. I've been the offensive coordinator at UBC the past 3 seasons. And each year we had a top 5 offense in U Sports. And in 2023 at UBC, we had a player drafted in the 4th round of the NFL draft with the Detroit Lions. His name's Giovanni Manu. And then another one who became a hard knock sensation with the Chicago Bears, and Theo Benedict. So we were able to win a lot of games at UBC and 21 wins in the last 3 seasons. Go to a Vanier Cup, win a Hardy Cup, win a Mitchell Bowl. I think that whenever you go through this process, it's the first time really for me as an assistant, but having a good support system around you. I've been very fortunate to have played for or coached with 8 current or former U Sports head coaches. So leaning into those experiences, I think with them has been critical in just my own development, and trying to pick and choose small little styles from each of them, I think is something that I'll try to bring to U of A. And making sure that we get a competent product on the field and a sustained winner here in Edmonton.
Staff, as you know, and as many sports fans know, a head coach is only as good and useful as their staff that surround them. Have you already put together a staff? And if so, are you able to share some of the names that you'll be bringing to campus?
I can't yet share everybody there yet, Jay. Still in talks with some coaches regarding the position. I think that there's a great opportunity here. First of all, I mean, having the head coach of the Edmonton Elks being a former U of A alum, and obviously Coach Morris being now the new president of the Edmonton Elks, I think is a huge piece for U of A. And I know you're talking about Oilers there previously, and Chris Knobloch being a U of A alum as well. So I think that there's a unbelievable amount of pride in this university. And, as Nick Saban said, the football program is usually the front porch to the entire university. So how you view the university is largely through the football program at that school. And every major school in Canada plays high-level college football. So I'm super excited for the challenge. We're going to, I promise everybody we'll get competent coaches in here. And some are currently on staff anyway. Some guys we're going to retain. There will be some changes. Obviously, Coach Morris has brought some guys up to the Edmonton Elks as well. So we'll have to fill those spots with competent guys.
All right. Hopefully you're doing this for a long time, and I'm still doing it for a long time. So hopefully this is the first of many times you are going to hear me say this, to the point that maybe in several years you're sick of it. But I have a saying, and I've covered youth sports and I've covered ACAC. You can win a lot of games in the off season. So recruiting is key. Chris worked hard there. We know the history of the U of A. They had a lot of bad years. He built up a lot of better recruits were coming here. What's your challenge now? Like, are players he recruited free to look elsewhere, or is that a concern for you? How do you make sure you're bringing in people for this upcoming season? Tell me about the recruiting situation.
Yeah, that's a great question. He did an awesome job, like you said, flipping it from a program that had struggled, no question, in the mid-2010s. It was not in a good spot, I think, when Coach Morris took it over. And the scholarship budget wasn't great. And then obviously through the amount of work that he did recruiting and building the budget and making sure that, he got competent players here through the door, obviously made him be the next president there with the Elks. So I think that he did a great job, fantastic job. It's going to be a tough act to follow. In terms of the current recruits that we have, I mean, we talked to a local product last night on the phone, his father, trying to keep him staying, from going to a Division I school. We're talking to other Division I guys that are looking to transfer here. Edmonton's on the map in terms of football. I think that's something that I want to just point out to all your viewers and everybody. People know about the city. They want to come to it. And that's what really the next piece to it is, keeping the local talent here, but becoming a national recruiter, I think is going to be the key for us in order to kind of move to the next stage. And so we'll open up the doors. I mean, we're going to try to knock down everywhere, BC included. Alberta, we will look in Ontario and potentially even Quebec with the St. Jean campus being affiliated with the U of A here. So we're going to become a national recruiter, try to get the best through the door. And that's kind of my promise to all the fans. And then if anyone wants to support us, please go online, find my email. If there's sponsorship, donors support, please. We're looking for it in a big way to give our student athletes the best experience that they can. The current roster, Reid, it's not going to leave. It's not like the U.S. where it's transfer portal city. That doesn't happen yet in Canada. That's not something that we're not dealing in the millions and millions of dollars up here. We're dealing with still the student athlete, student being the key word, and not athlete student. So I think that's one of the key pieces and differences between the Canadian sport model and the Americans.
Stevenson, I just wanted to kind of add on to that, in that recruiting, you can be the greatest recruiter in the world. You can be the best salesman in the world. You can bring it all, do it all. But if you don't have the scholarship money to give said athletes, there's no point. I know that Chris had developed the U of A Select program. He had developed a camp system that was, let's face it, it brought revenue in to the program. So are you going to take that on? Have you found somebody that can take that? Because I know that was raising some good funds for the program prior to his departure.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be a key piece to it. They definitely did start something very special here, and not a lot of universities have that same model. We would love to continue to grow that. Yes, we're going to try to get the best, most competent people in the door in order to help run that and keep it so that the registration rates are high. And to all the prospective football players, we'll grow it to a place where we're going to invite, you'll get seen by other coaches. You'll get developed really well. First of all, we'll have an excellent coaching staff. They'll develop you like crazy. But the big thing is we'll also get your name out there to other prospective teams. When I was at UBC, Jay, there were tons of kids that reached out all the time. And one of the things that I take the most pride in is not even the guys that I recruited to UBC, but it's the guys that I got to go and get scholarships at other schools. And that's something I think is really key. I hope most coaches operate like that, but I'm also proud of, we got a lot of different guys that go play college football across this country. And how do you do that? Well, it's by developing the high school age players. So I know that in the summer, we'll have a huge high school football camp here. And then if they're competent and good players, maybe they're fit. If it's not with U of A, we can send them over to other schools and call other coaches on their behalf and try to see if we can get them an offer. I think that's something that's going to be super important.
Well, and Stevenson, I must add, because this is personal to me in the respect that I spent a few years of junior football prior to going to the university level. And don't forget that you have those resources right here. You have two teams in this city, in the Edmonton Wildcats and the Edmonton Huskies, that I've been begging for somebody to use as a feeder system up and down, that they can work together, because there's so many talented athletes that are young and good, and going to U of A, is it overwhelming for them where they could probably be a travel team roster player on a junior level? So have you reached out to any of those coaches?
I will be in the coming days. I mean, awesome. This is my second day here. Yesterday was my first day, a lot of onboarding.
Yeah.
But I will. And I know that, I think it's a little bit taboo to say Wildcats and Huskies in the same sentence, Jay. I thought that was a little bit of a one thing that you can't do.
I can't be. I gotta help both teams in this role now, but I am a former Wildcat.
Yeah. No, and that's something that's so unique to Edmonton, that we're going to definitely dive into. And also the other thing too, Jay, is it's a great feeder system for coaches. That's something that's hugely important. That's unbelievable in the sense that no other team in U Sports has that, two junior teams right here. We did not have that at UBC, never had that when I was in London and at Western. We had one junior team, but not two. And so definitely the opportunities are there for players to play. And I would tell a lot of high school guys, if you didn't get the offer, go and play junior. Keep playing the sport that you love. Go to school still. Try to make it work, because some guys, as you know, they're 18 years old and they're late developers, where they have a late birthday, like myself. It takes them a couple years in order to kind of get noticed and get recruited. I mean, I was a prime example. Finished at 16, no offers, absolutely none coming out. Went to CEGEP, which is basically the junior equivalent out in Ontario. Tried to get a couple years of experience. Finally got recruited, ended up at Western, became the starter in my second year. But I would not have had that opportunity being 17 years old coming out. So if your son's born after, and I think the NHL is the prime example with that, where, if you're born within the first 3 months of the year, you have like an 80% chance of being an NHL player, compared to only 20% of the guys born in the NHL right now are born in the latter half of the year. And that's all because of when they're born and they end up playing more camps and all-star games and things like that. So if you're a late developer, late bloomer, please go play junior. Play the sport that you love. Go and play. Get coached. And yes, there's another go-around that can happen, and you can end up at another school.
Stevenson, thanks for doing this. I know you're busy, and there's a lot to deal with over the last couple of days. If you have time to jump into our chat, you can go back and see the show later on YouTube. We do have a couple of people suggesting spots on campus. You can grab food. So you'll be learning all that about the U of A as well. But again, congratulations. We love talking U of A sports. So we'll be having you and your players on, especially once it gets closer to the season and during the season. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And like I said, Jay, I heard that you're the interception leader for U of A. And we got to get the highlight tape out and show the guys when
Done.
When you're back here at the facility.
I look forward to meeting you.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Right on. Stevenson Bone, new head coach of the Golden Bears football team, checking in. I just followed him on Twitter at Coach Bone. So I'm sure he'll be picking up some followers. So he's ready to go. Big job. Big job. Chris Morris did a lot to build up the program. One of the storylines we had on this show, we just started in September, and we were all like, this is going to be a great season. They won their first road game against UBC. Stevenson was an assistant coach. He was the offensive coordinator. And then it went south for the Bears after that. But, I think some good infrastructure now in place, not just personnel-wise, but, facility-wise and attitude-wise and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully Stevenson can keep that going and build on it.
I do have something that came in here during that interview from the Wolf, and Hernan came back in and said it's super windy out, and apparently the roads are getting quite nasty out there. This came in from the Wolf. Please let all the nasties know out there that Highway 2 South is super slick with the wind. I just saw and was a part of 8 vehicles all at once doing the funky chicken because the road is icy and the wind is so strong. Average speed right now before the airport turnoff is about 60 kilometers an hour.
Oh, no.
Drive safe. Take your time getting home.
So it's just but it's not snowing.
No, it's the wind. The wind's just slicking the road.
Bad,
yeah. And Vic chimed in and he said, "Oh my goodness, Jay, Huskies and that other team shall not be spoken in the same breath by name."
I
Come
think
on,
there might
man.
be some snow coming, though. Well, yeah, there are some clouds passing through. I'm just looking on the weather app.
Would it be fair to say I cannot be partisan?
What do you mean?
When I'm talking about the Huskies and Wildcats.
You can be.
I shouldn't be.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Well, I know.
You can have a soft spot for one team or the other.
But that was the right way to say it.
I think if you excessively heaped on the team after a while, it might be like, okay, we get it. You played for one, not the other one. I think if the two teams were playing each other and you said, hey, I love Edmonton sports, but if these two teams play, I got to go for this one because that's my alum, I think that would be fair.
You know what? It is what it is. It's a great rivalry. It's one of the oldest. Jay's highlight tape over Brody music from next.
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
We can make that happen. I've got it. Coob moaning.
Yeah.
Oh,
when are we going to see some of your highlights on this show?
I should find that tape.
Finishing up a heater.
That's Dave Jameson editing your highlight tape. Just finishing up a heater.
I can't take it anymore.
That's wow. We got a lot of these. Continue to give us the thumbs up on YouTube. We need 11 more to get to the word of the day. So just go in there and do it. Tell 2 friends to check out the show and give us the thumbs up as well.
How'd you think Stevenson did? I thought Stevenson sounded
very well spoken. Is he
yeah.
even 30 yet?
I don't know.
We didn't get his age.
Incredibly
He looks
young.
quite well. He still was playing in 2017, wasn't he?
Yeah, Vanier. He was in the Vanier Cup. Did they win a Vanier? Yeah, he won a Vanier with Western
as the starting quarterback.
Starting quarterback.
Well, and I've heard. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm Mr. Canada West football, but when something like this happens, I ask people that I know, and somebody said very, very good offensive mind.
Well,
now you're going from offensive coordinator to head coach. He is so would have he been under Nil at UBC?
Oh yeah.
So no,
I mean, that's a good person to be
Blake
under.
Nil, let me just ask you this. Would Blake Nil be considered one of the best U Sports football coaches this century?
100%.
So that's who he was learning from.
He's done it in different spots across Canada. Because I think he was at St. Mary's, then U of C, now UBC.
Right.
And they've all went to the Vanier.
Right. So you hope that Stevenson has taken on some of that, has his own
He knows how to
philosophies too.
recruit. So hopefully a lot of that has rubbed off on young Stevenson Bone. He looks young anyways. He looks great, well-spoken, good for you, man.
Yeah, if he is in his 30s, it wouldn't be by much, I don't think. So.
And the best of luck.
All right, we got to call it quick timeout. More on the Oilers and Capitals tonight. We got a fun top 3 involving both of those teams. We still have to unveil our all-time power play units as well. The off-topic topic for William Huff, 5 o'clock on the Reid Wilkins Show.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers. Rangers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Edmonton hosts the Washington Capitals, and Alex Ovechkin with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas previewing the action live on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 right here on EST. And in just a moment, the Senators challenge the Rangers. Philly hosts Detroit, while the Lightning and Canadiens drop the puck on an 8-game NHL slate. There's 3 games in the WHL, seeing the Pats battle the Tigers, the Wheat Kings, and Rockets going at it before the Giants and Thunderbirds drop the puck. There's also 2 games in the AJHL, having Grand Prairie on the road in Bonnyville and the Kodiaks butting heads against the Grizzlies. And according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, the Patriots are expected to name Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator, while in Minnesota, head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension with the Vikings. For the Bears, they've hired Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Lions, as their next head coach. And basketball has the Raptors and Magic tipping off, while the Trailblazers meet the Heat. And the 76ers take on the Nuggets, seeing 5 games around the association. That was your sports update. I'm Zachary Kubish. Hour 3, the Reid Wilkins Show, starts right now.
Is this Fallout? No.
Should know
it's
what
Believe in Me. This is Believe in Me. Are we on? Are we live? This is Believe in Me.
Is this thing
Believe
working?
in Me by Brody. Jay Milne on the vocal. I'm glad we're dropping in. So we introduced that last Monday that you are the lead singer on 2 albums, Brody and North Shore, both self-titled albums, because your band changed its name from 98 to 02 between the albums.
Yeah.
4 years between albums. That is Leopard-esque, my friend.
So last night I left here and I went straight to gymnastics.
Did Mutt Lang produce either of your albums?
He did not. My mother and my father had to help us out because there was a rare game on Monday night. So my wife coaches the Ardrossan senior team.
Okay.
The senior girls junior high team. My mother-in-law is the bench assistant. Right? So they were both needed for that. So she dropped off my youngest Faith to my parents to take her to gymnastics. I then went and met my parents there. So we visited for a while. And here my mom had found probably 100 pictures of us performing back in the day. I even I looked through them
because you showed me maybe 4 of them.
I've got a lot more.
We got to start putting them up. Picture of the day.
Okay, I'm down with that. I found one from the sidetrack.
We should have a thing where if I at least get a point on word of the day, you have to reveal a picture.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
No. The over-under is 1.5.
Some real meat on me having to do it.
The over-under would be 1.5.
Real meat on me. I don't know why I put it that way. There's real meat. There's pressure.
There's a lot of meat over there.
A lot of meat on Wilkins.
Big Slam Nasty, 3 certainties in life, death, taxes, and listening to the Reid Wilkins Show while whipping up dinner.
And we are in word of the day, thumbs up. Get us to 150, and it'll be a double word of the day before we sign off at 6 o'clock. Okay, so clue number 4 in our Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guesses, maximum 3 guesses per person, to the River Korean box, 780-218-9999. The 4th clue is never failed. So the clues are Alabama, 4th, 1983, and never failed. How about this? Somebody get it now. Somebody get it now. Alabama, 4th, 1983, and never failed. Sound good? I think it sounds really good. Will anybody get it? I really want people to get it. Like I'm trying to make it a little bit difficult, but I want people to get it. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com today and book your private consultation. Oilers Capitals tonight is the showdown. Again, if Alexander Ovechkin scores 21 goals, he will surpass Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring record. The Capitals are first in the NHL. Their record is 31-10-5. The Oilers with a pretty good record themselves, as they are 29-14-3, coming off that loss to the Vancouver Canucks. Caps haven't lost in regulation in a while. Now they've won 4 straight overall. They're 7-0-3 in their last 10. Oilers 8-2 in their last 10.
A fun fact for tonight's game.
Yes.
The e-bug for the Oilers, Capitals, both Oilers and Capitals, is none other than Golden Bears hockey netminder Tyler Palmer.
Oh, nice. Okay. Just 2 years shy, because I looked this up earlier. I didn't keep the tab open. Just 2 years, what am I trying to say? Almost 2 years since Matt Berlin went in for a game with the Oilers in that win over the Blackhawks. January 28th, 2023, he played the last 2/26 of the game. So what was the situation? Skinner was sick, so Berlin dressed as the backup to who? Jack Campbell. Remember him?
Yes.
No? Do you? Okay.
Faintly.
And then they were beating the Blackhawks 7-3, and I think McDavid might have mentioned it to Woodcroft. Why don't we put Berlin in? Stop the only shot that he faced. Remember, I did that thing a few months ago now. It was which goaltender for the Oilers played the least.
Yes.
It was Matt Berlin.
Yes.
With his 2 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. So Tyler Palmer's the e-bug. But he must be the e-bug on other nights.
I don't know.
But GB Hockey put it on their Twitter account today?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he doesn't need to dress.
Like there's an e-bug every game.
There's
right?
always an e-bug. Yes.
In the building.
Yes.
Not necessarily dressed.
And he could play for either team. He's the e-bug.
So
right?
if one goalie goes down, he's dressed for that team.
Yes. That's how I understand. Yeah, because they wouldn't travel with an e-bug.
Andy says, I missed it, but why do we have an e-bug tonight? I think, like we just said, it's every night.
There's always an e-bug there. Yes, there's always an e-bug, right? So that's why. It's not that they need an e-bug. It's that there's an e-bug. There's supposed to be an e-bug. It'd be like a good name for a... well, somebody should name a new insect the e-bug. There's got to be a hockey fan who's a... What is it that... What is the study of insects? Is it entomology?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's some hockey fan who's an entomologist should name a new breed of insect or the newly discovered type of insect. An e-bug.
Entomology, not ant.
What did I say?
You said ant.
And entomology.
But some people might mistake it for entomology.
Oh, entomology, because ants are insects. All right. Let's do... What are we doing here? Has anybody won yet?
Nope.
Let's do our top 3 for food sausage. The best sausages you will ever eat.
Great guess. Rip City Step. I won't count it because it's obviously a joke, but he guessed me. Probably for Never Failed.
Alabama 4th, 1983. Never. That could be the name of your next album.
Never Failed.
Or just your next band. Food sausages. The best sausages you will ever eat. Locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store. 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or just mention EST in store. All right. We are going to do, this is kind of a fun one. It's a little bit of a weird one. Top 3 former Oilers you forgot also played for the Capitals. All right. So these are players that if you said list all the teams they played for, you would list the Oilers for sure, right? Like they would have been known for being an Oiler and maybe other teams. But you maybe would have forgotten that that they played for the Capitals. These would be good puck doku players. Have you ever played puck doku?
No.
Oh, I got to introduce you to puck doku.
Do you?
I haven't played it in a while. I used to play it more last season, and Stoff really got into it because it really tested his trivia mind. So say there was a square, that said Oilers and Capitals.
Yeah.
So it's a 3x3 grid, 3 teams down the left side, 3
Like Sudoku.
Right. So, but there'd be 3 teams down the side, 3 teams across the top,
Yes.
or something like
I've seen
or
this.
20 plus goals.
Yes.
So you had to pick a player for each square that fit the category of
And
the
intersected.
where they intersected. So if say it was Capitals and Oilers, well, Jason Chimero, Alex Chason would come to mind for a lot of people. But the more common, you wanted to get the lowest score possible. So the more common guesses were worth more points, right? So you wanted to try to get 0, where you're getting like 0.1% for each one. Did somebody get it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll get to the winner at the end of the segment. So this would be a good puck doku player, this first one. So this was like Oilers and Capitals, because this player played the first 5 seasons of his career with the Edmonton Oilers, was a first-round draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers, and then late in his career, when he was, 36, played 11 games for the Washington Capitals. You know who this is? Goob? Jason Arnott. I'd forgotten Jason Arnott was a Washington Capital.
How many games?
11. Like, I knew Arnott. I remember him going to Nashville, because obviously he was Edmonton, New Jersey, Dallas. Then he went to Nashville for a few seasons. He went back to New Jersey, but late in his career, he was a Capital for 11 games. And then I'd forgotten this, by the way. He played his very final season, 72 games, with the St. Louis Blues. So Jason Arnott was a Capital and an Oiler.
Quite a career.
Tom
18
Gazzola
years.
is putting people in. Tom Gazzola has put in 3 names. 2 of them are the other 2 names on my list. He's going to be happy. Does Tom want to call in or log in and come talk about these people?
We get him on the phone.
He's a busy guy. The other person, the other Oiler, who you maybe forgot was a Washington Capital, maybe just because you're not old enough to remember, he was a Capital on a Washington team that won 8 games, one of the worst teams in the history of the National Hockey League. He then later in his career played for the Oilers, and then later in his hockey journey, he was the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Who is this? Got a guess?
Well,
you can guess.
I see what's on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we interviewed him at the Hockey Helps the Homeless.
Ron Lowe.
Yeah.
Ron Lowe,
Great
early
guy.
in his career, was stuck on those horrifically bad Capitals teams. That year the Caps only won 8 games. He played 48 of them. He went 8-36-2 with a save percentage of .855. Tough year. So Ron Lowe.
Ro, I think it's just your screen that's flashing. I don't see anybody else's screens flashing unless
Does somebody have a screen flash issue?
No. She said first the cow hooves, now this.
We will not be showing any cow hooves today.
Not without
and I
a
guess
warning.
when we do that again, we'll do. I didn't think that would upset people. I'm so sorry.
I don't think it actually
laughing.
did. I don't think it actually
I guess
did.
they maybe didn't expect there would be the black discharge. I mean, I guess whenever you're in a situation with
That
black
word,
discharge,
though, I mean, that's
what,
unfair.
Discharge?
Yes.
Well, that's what
Yes,
it
Reid,
is.
exactly that word.
Well, it's discharge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what else would you call it?
Excrement?
That's poop.
Well, how do you know?
Isn't excrement specifically poop?
They're cows that walk through poop all day. It could be compressed excrement.
But it looked like black ink. It looked like a black pen exploded inside the bull's hoof. Maybe it did.
Maybe it did.
It was weird, though.
It was weird.
It
You want
was
to watch
just
some more
black
later?
flow. Yeah, we'll watch some more
You want to
later.
watch them after the show?
Yeah, I have so many hoof trimming videos. We have so many hoof trimming videos suggested to us.
And just let it be known that the winner of the person that got the Hudson's Mystery Athlete of the Game is Matt Hyman.
Okay.
Matt Hyman is from Winnipeg.
Well,
we
is
all
there
know
a
that.
Hudson, can we send a GC?
No.
How are we going to do this?
So
We
he
can't.
said the
Okay.
contest is still on.
The contest is still on. So we
said-
have a right answer, but we don't have a winner.
We don't have a winner.
Matt Hyman, you're a gentleman, and you're awesome
Yeah.
that you live in Winnipeg and
Thank
listen
you,
to our
Matt
show.
Hyman.
Okay, so is this today's Sudoku? Somebody who put up the Sudoku?
Your stream is very far behind.
Oh,
That
mine's
was like 3
flashing, by
minutes
the
ago.
way, so that's
Yeah.
why Rose was flashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stream is really far behind. So there's how Sudoku,
Okay.
people saw this several minutes ago. Yeah, what is wrong with it? How come the broadcast I'm watching is several minutes behind? Oh, well. By the way, we need 8 more thumbs in 45 minutes. Very doable to get it. Well, we need it in about half an hour. So tell your friends to thumb us up. If you've never done it, it's quite easy. Click the little thumbs up. All right. So the mystery athlete of the game is still alive. Yeah. So I'll give the 5th clue after, like around 5:30. I'll give the 5th clue if no one gets it for Hudson's Canada's Pub.
Let's go through them once more. Though.
Alabama, 4th, 1983, never failed. So Matt Hyman, you're a generous human being and a smart human being because you're the only one who's got it so far. So my 3rd of top 3 for food sausage, top 3 Oilers you forgot played for the Capitals. This guy ended his career in 13-14 with 18 games with the Capitals.
I can't take it anymore.
He was an Oiler from 07 to 11 and really quite an effective Oiler if you think about it, but perhaps was burdened with high expectations on teams that weren't very good. If Tom Gazzola is still listening, is that a fair way to summarize this player? He had a season in 09-10 when he had 32 goals and 63 points. That's pretty good.
I can't take it anymore.
He scored 23 and 21 goals for the Oilers. He had one year he just scored 17. But he was known for perhaps not always appearing to be the most motivated player.
I can't take it anymore.
Dustin Penner.
Oh, what a beauty.
So Dustin Penner, 4 seasons with the Oilers, and then, as I said, ended off 18 games with the Washington Capitals in 13-14, had a goal and 2 assists.
That must be where Penner's pancakes handle comes from.
Yes.
A well-known nasty. Got to be from Penner.
Yeah, that's why because Penner, what did he sprain his back? Reaching for pancakes or something like that?
I can't believe that story got out.
Well, I think he told somebody.
I know, but keep that to yourself. That doesn't exactly help.
Well, he's pretty comfortable disclosing things. I was going to, so other players, I mean, there's a whole list. I'm not going to list every one. And I think some of them were obvious. I mean, Adam Oates. I mean, you would most think of him as a Capital. So these were more people who played the majority of their careers with, or a big chunk with the Oilers. I mean, Mike Green is an interesting one because remember the Oilers traded for him and he got into 2 games and then he got hurt. I think he got hurt after the first period of the second game. Ethan Bear would be up there. John Blum, but he was more a Capital. Alex Chason's a more obvious one. Anson Carter, I think, a more obvious one. So anyway, that's some fun there. Certainly Mike Greer, he played several hundred games for both teams, or a few hundred for both teams. I almost put Joe Murphy on the list. I forgot he was a Capital. He played 222 games for the Oilers and 43 for the Capitals, but I decided to go another way. Tom Pody would be one of the better-known ones. Doug Hicks played 186 games for the Oilers, just 18 for the Caps. So that is for food sausage. The top 3 Oilers you might have forgotten also played for the Capitals. Tom Gazzola did well on that list, too. Tom's a very smart man. You're silent on that. Just agree with me.
No, I'm just looking. It's funny because on the Hockey DB site, Ron Lowe is in a Capitals jersey.
Yeah. Well, he bounced around a bit. So you don't think that was a good one then, having Ron Lowe on there?
Of course it was.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
780-218-9999 is how you text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We got to do our game of the night, and we got to get a winner still in the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. The Coob is standing by with a sports update.
The McDavid-less Oilers challenge Ovechkin and his Capitals here in Edmonton with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 6 o'clock right here on EST. And right now, 3 games are live in the NHL, seeing the Sens and Rangers, Tampa Bay and Montreal, and Philadelphia hosting Detroit, with all 3 games scoreless in the first. And after that, the Sharks play the Predators, the Panthers face the Ducks, and the Sabres meet the Canucks. And according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, the Patriots are expected to name Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator, while in Minnesota, head coach Kevin O'Connell has signed a multi-year extension with the Vikings. For the Bears, they've hired Ben Johnson, former offensive coordinator of the Lions, as their next head coach. And on the court, the 10-32 Raptors meet the 23-21 Magic. 4 other games in the NBA has Philly out in Denver, the Knicks and Nets throwing it down, while the Wizards try and upset the Lakers. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of this break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
In the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for 2 at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Thanks a lot for checking out the show this afternoon. Really appreciate you being in the audience. Really appreciate you supporting us through the TuneIn Radio app, through the iHeartRadio app. If you're watching on YouTube, giving us the thumbs up there. We're up to 154 today. Really good. We're on a good streak of thumbs. We have great live programming from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday here. And then, of course, we have our Oilers coverage before and after all the games, which we'll have at 6 o'clock tonight. This is, I don't want to be too sentimental here. This is an awesome place to work with an awesome group of people who care about each other, who think about their colleagues first. Everybody supports all the other shows. And it's not just the on-air stuff. It's the things we do around the office for each other, or people, even like keep the things we do to keep the office clean or repair things that maybe got torn down, Jay Milne. Maybe something else.
I just checked the cleaning schedule. It's up.
There is a cleaning schedule?
Yeah.
I can't wait to vacuum, actually.
I can't wait.
Vacuum's so satisfying.
It is.
You know when you go over something, you can hear the, like you're vacuuming up.
But you know what's a nice feeling is when you clean, and then, because I'm going to come in on the weekend. I'm going to bring the girls in. And they can play in the arcade. We can make a little bit of a
when I do mine, I'll probably just stay after a shift.
Yeah, I might do that on a Friday night and just stay late after our show.
Yeah.
But it is nice when you come in the next time and it's like, ooh, somebody cleaned.
But this is
That's a great
I mean,
feeling.
look, I just want to, I won't go, I know this is a little, I know people want sports talk, but this is a great place to work. A bunch of people who care about each other. Like, there's not huge egos. There's not huge insecurities like, oh, who's saying what about me or doing this. Everybody's got a common goal to have a great station. And I think we do. And I hope more people keep discovering it. Kelvin in the nasty chat, just to revisit something from earlier, he said the Oilers just put out a statement about the McDavid suspension. What for? I don't know. I read the statement, well, when was it? About an hour ago? I think it was about 4:30. I don't know why they put it out. I don't know. It really said nothing. Maybe it's just to show solidarity with the fans. I don't know. I don't know if there's some other motive that they could have behind it, because it's not one of those statements where they're taking like, here it is. The Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week. Okay. Like, he does not have a process. We support him, the appeal and missing games? Well, okay. What support does Connor need?
Yeah.
I don't think he's emotionally wrecked.
Maybe they're sending him meals.
Maybe the organization is sending him Skip.
Like,
hey, Connor, we'll set you up a Skip the Dishes account.
Yeah.
And then it's actually Leon that delivers it. Ha ha, it's actually me, Connor.
We made you a lasagna.
This is a pointless statement put out by the Oilers and an organization that at times tends to overthink things and then doesn't realize that people are just going to think what they're doing is a little dumb, quite frankly. I've dealt with this before.
Do they have to put something out? Do they always put something out? So maybe that was their way of saying the organization disagrees with the term of the suspension.
Maybe this is their way of saying we don't like what the league did. But again, has Vancouver put out a statement about Myers? And again, what he did was suspendable.
Both. Yeah.
But they both did. I mean, Leon said, even when Leon said today, he goes, I didn't think it would be that many games, basically, but Leon didn't say, oh, I can't believe he got suspended for cross-checking somebody in the face. Whatever, Kelvin, I'm not saying whatever, Kelvin, to you, but, I don't,
got to 156 now, Reid.
Okay. But to answer Kelvin's question, when I said, like, whatever, I wasn't directing that at Kelvin's question. I was saying whatever. I don't know why they put it out. I can't guess at their motivation sometimes when it comes to PR stuff like this.
Before the games end tonight, they'll have a statement regarding the statement?
That would be great. Yeah.
I think they might need to.
Yeah. Maybe I should put out a statement about
Maybe
the statement.
you should put it, and then I'll retract the statement.
Reid Wilkins would like to acknowledge that he has read the Edmonton Oilers statement and does not have any further reaction to it.
And believes it was a complete waste of time.
No, I'll just say, and I will not. Reid Wilkins has read the statement and will have no further comment. That's pretty much as if I were going to fire back with something equally pointless, which I don't want to make a big deal about it, or I'm probably sounding a little too mean and sarcastic about it. I just don't think it was something that. This is the thing. Sometimes you want an organization to comment on something and they won't, and then there's something that doesn't need to be commented on and they commented on. Okay.
Down a pig. This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Kinda.
Really?
Pretty big.
I don't see the comparison there. All right. It's time for our game of the night for Play More tables and games, from ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for. Visit Canada's Game Room Experts, locations in Edmonton and Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
That sounds incredible. All right. The obvious game of the night, where's my schedule? I have too many. You're going to get used to, Rob Brown used to make for me, because I'll have like 20 tabs open thinking, oh yeah, I'll have access to everything, and then I can't find it.
You're a multi-tab guy?
Yes, and it doesn't always pay off. Oilers Capitals obviously is the game of the night. I'll also say keep an eye on Sabres Canucks, as the Sabres are coming here on Saturday and the Canucks are coming here on Thursday, and obviously Vancouver trying to get into that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. So those will be my choices for my games of the night for Play More tables and games.
Well, Coob, you know it's a Monday night, so you know what that means.
TMRW Golf League update.
You heard it there. It's the TMRW Golf League, where we'll see
it's a Tuesday night.
0-1. It's Tuesday night. I'm a night behind.
Just because I called Ray Bork Phil Bork. Better make sure we got people know what's.
That's a weird slip up. The 0-1 New York Golf Club going against the 1-0 Atlanta Drive. No, the 0-0 Atlanta Drive. They haven't played yet. The Atlanta Drive is favorites, minus 137. Is this the night that we actually see a match that is somewhat close? I'm saying no. I'm saying no. And so that was our Play More Tables and game of the night.
Play more tables and games.
Was that how sick was he when he did that?
I think he was quite healthy.
Play more tables and games.
Well, he sounds like he has an injured throat or something. That is Dustin. Correct? I was like, well, maybe it's not Dustin.
Well, it's just, every time he leaves here and goes home, what do you want to do tonight, Dusty?
Play more tables and games.
Dungeons and Dragons.
You're just going to do a whole show of audio drops. I don't have to say anything. Let's do our off-topic topic for William Huff, our all-time power play teams.
Oh, boy.
Did I do Dustin's? Dustin
Yeah,
Nielsen's.
he didn't give a goalie, though.
Because if he's listening, give me a goalie, Dustin. Ovechkin, Gretzky, McDavid, McInnes, and Lemieux was Dustin's. I did this year because then when I asked Gager identified himself as the goalie. So then I started asking everybody else for a goaltender. I'll give mine. So I just to be partially somewhat different. Mine includes neither Wayne Gretzky nor Mario Lemieux, but I'm thinking about a power play. Connor McDavid, zone entry, and skate everywhere and get the puck. Alexander Ovechkin, left wing, off wing one-timer. Leon Draisaitl, right wing, off wing one-timer. Dave Andreychuk, second all-time in power play goals, net front presence. Al McInnes, bombing it from the point, and one of the greatest goalie puck handlers of all time. He actually taught Mike Smith how to do it to get the puck up. Marty Turco. That's my team.
A lot of Turcos today. I like that list.
Dustin Nielsen has Patrick Waugh in net.
That's fair. I like that list. I'm going to go with, the greatest scorers, power play players. It's hard to, Gretzky and Lemieux have got to be on there, in my opinion. And then Connor McDavid, kind of run it, bring it into the zone. Then I'm going to go with Holmstrom for the net front presence.
No way.
Yeah.
Didn't they call him the Mule?
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy was a machine. You couldn't move him in front of the net. He could tip anything that was coming at him.
Okay.
And most of the shots were coming at him from Nick Lidstrom. So I got Lidstrom
you got Lidstrom on the point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then the local legend in net, Glenn Hall.
Oh, wow.
Just because.
Good for you.
Just because I love the guy.
Holmstrom and Lidstrom going a little bit outside the box.
Sure. But if you think of net front presence in the late 90s and early, or the early 2000s, you're thinking of Holmstrom.
He was good at it.
He was good.
How many power play goals? I don't even know how many power play goals. But here's the top 10 in the NHL all-time power play goals. Ovechkin, Andreychuk, Hall, Solani, who I don't think was on any team, Robitaille, who was not on any team, Phil Esposito, picked by one person. Shanahan is 7th. Mario's 8th. Marcel Dion is 9th. And Dino Ciccarelli is 10th. Now, Stamkos is 11 behind Ciccarelli. So if he doesn't pass him this year, you think he will eventually. Gretzky 18th all time in power play goals, but obviously he's an elite setup guy as well. That was a fun project. Leon Draisaitl is tied for 47th in power play goals with Bobby Hull. He's one behind both Owen Nolan and Yari Curry. So if Draisaitl gets a power play goal tonight, he ties Curry. Now, Curry's were not all with the Oilers because Draisaitl's already the Oilers franchise leader, right? Fun stuff. Final clue time?
I think we've got to.
Final clue. Hudson's Canada's Pub, mystery athlete of the game. You must text your guess to 780-218-9999. The final clue is Ben Johnson. Now, that's not a giving away the answer, okay? The final clue to get the mystery athlete is Ben Johnson. So all the clues, Alabama, 4th, 1983, Never Failed, and Ben Johnson. You should be able to put it together.
Well, somebody already did, but
Matt Hyman already put it together after the fourth clue. But he's passed on his prize because he lives in Winnipeg. So let's get somebody else to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. All right. We are gonna let's do the update now, Coob. I know it's a little early, but we're gonna end the show a few minutes early to transition to the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan as well. Here is Zachary Kubish.
McDavid sits out for the first game of his 3-game suspension with Alex Ovechkin in the league-leading Capitals roll to town. You can get set for the action right here on EST alongside Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6. And 3 games are live right now, just one with a goal from Nikita Kucherov against the Canadiens. That one with just about 5 minutes left in the first. Elsewhere, the Sens and Rangers are nearing the end of 20, while the Red Wings and Flyers are scoreless at the end of the first. After that, we see the Sabres throw down with the Canucks, the Rangers, and the Hurricanes and Stars playing, and the Sharks dropping the puck with the Predators. And on the court, the Raptors are back in action today against the Magic. Trailblazers are just about to get underway with the Heat. And after that, the Knicks tip off with the Nets. 76ers battle the Nuggets. And the Wizards challenge the Lakers. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Well, the Oilers will be trying to make a statement tonight against the first overall team in the National Hockey League.
A hot team.
Get it? You're going to make a statement against the Capitals? No? They just put out the McDavid statement?
Oh.
Now they're going to try to make a statement. Jay's like, what's happening today? He's so focused on the TGL Golf, the Golf League, as I like to call it. God, I hope Awanik's listening. Portions of this hour are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Continue to hit the thumbs up. Let's see what we can get to. And we will get 2 words of the day that Jay will test me with in a couple of minutes. All right.
Well, here, I'll tell you who it's not.
Yes, I'm going to give the clues, and then the clues for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Alabama, 4th, 1983, never failed, Ben Johnson.
It is not Carl Lewis, for those wondering.
Good guess, though, but it's not Carl Lewis.
It is not Donovan Bailey. Okay.
But, well, people can't see if they're just... I'm giving the hand with the motion to, like, go on. Right?
This would be... do you want to give an impromptu or an ad-lib clue number 6, Reid?
Sure. Seoul. Seoul. The city. Though one of the other clues also refers to that. But I guess that might help people out a little bit more, especially now that they know that it's not Carl Lewis. Alabama, 4th, 1983, never failed, Ben Johnson, Seoul. Hopefully somebody gets it now. Well, somebody has to get it. What if nobody gets it?
Well, Coob had an idea during the break. We just double it up tomorrow?
On Thursday?
On Thursday.
Somebody will get it. Coob, what's your all-time power play team? I forgot to get yours. I'm a neglectful host.
That is all good.
Somebody got it? Okay. All right. Coob, now we got too much going on. Now there's so much going on. All right. You gotta do your team first, Coob. He's got it on a we have proper paper.
I like the sticky notes.
They're crumpled up.
Well, yeah. So I was done with them. Because you guys went over it. I was like,
Well,
okay.
all right.
Well, I threw it out. I like keeping this place clean because Trev called me out for it one time, but I'm going to keep this clean. Okay? Nobody has named one of these players on this list, and I'm going to start from left wing to right wing and then go to the defenseman and, of course, goaltending. So on the left side, on his offhand, my greatest goal scorer of all time, personally, Mike Bossy. And then centering that line, Mario Lemieux, not Claude Lemieux.
Good.
And then Connor McDavid
Jocelyn.
on his offhand, though it looks a little bit awkward. He's not great at the one-timers, but he could dish the puck across to Bossy. And you're thinking, Alexander Ovechkin, he's 21 goals away from setting the record. Yes, I have him here, but on the left point. Okay?
Well, he would go down to the top of the circle, right?
Right.
Yeah,
he can move in, and he could skate. He's pretty good at skating. And Dennis Potvin.
Great
the right-handed,
great player.
Right side, like just great overall. 4 Stanley Cups with the Islanders, of course, famously defeated the Oilers in their first trip to the Stanley Cup Finals in '83.
They also defeated the Oilers in the second round in 1981. Did you know that?
I didn't. Now I know.
Now you know.
Now I'll never not know. And one thing that I didn't know a goaltender would ever get a goal and an assist in the same game. Alex Nedeljkovic.
Oh, for the offense. There you go.
For the offense.
Nice
he can
touch.
score and get
Nice
an
touch.
assist.
Wow.
Good one, Coop. The off-topic topic for William Huff, your all-time greatest power play unit in the history of the National Hockey League, if you could pick players from any era. Email to Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. The Big Uke with his limerick. Ovi in town looking to score some more. Reid loves to vacuum, mainly the floor. New coach in town. He's no clown. Would you ever try to ride a boar? That's awesome. He relates to things we discussed on the show, and then the last line is generally supposed to be nonsense.
Yes.
In the proper structure of a limerick, so that it was the Big Uke. Good job. Thank you for your continued contributions to this program. He is a mountainous, magma-filled mound of...
Man. What was the other word we added?
Magnificent.
Magnificent.
He is a magnificent, mountainous mound of magma-filled manhood. Well, that sounded weird.
Yes, it did.
Well, that's what he is, though. Okay. Who's the winner for the $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub?
Rip City Step.
Oh, really? Okay. So, the mystery athlete of the game went to the University of Alabama. The first clue was Alabama. The second clue was fourth. He was the fourth person across the finish line in a very significant race. 1983. In 1983, he set the world record in the 100-meter dash. Never failed was the fourth clue. He never failed the drug test. Ben Johnson was the first person across the finish line in the race we're talking about in Seoul, which was the bonus clue. Ben Johnson was disqualified, so this person got up from fourth to the bronze medal position. It is sprinter Calvin Smith. Oh, I've just irritated a lot of people who are like, I've never heard of him. Or like, oh, come on, Reid.
Well, 2 more people have since got it.
Good.
But Rip City got it first. So good friend. Seal chimed in. Seal asked, is it Forrest Gump?
No. We did do a fictional athlete once. Quaddy, Tim Kerr, McDavid, Ovechkin, McKinnon, and McCarr. Yeah, Tim Kerr, he had like 36 power play goals one season or something like that. He was a pretty good net front slot guy.
Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Oh, it's word of the day. I was confused what was happening at first.
It is word of the day.
I was like, where's Samuel L. Jackson? You know what he's doing? He's getting all these blankety-blank snakes off this blankety-blank plane.
Well, we did hit...
Samuel L. Jackson would like to acknowledge that there are snakes on this blankety-blank plane. He's going to try to get all of them off. There will be no further comment on this matter. That's a statement about snakes on a plane.
Yeah, I got it. We got to 160. So not only did we fly through 130, we made it to double word of the day bonus territory,
which is awesome.
So Reid, on a 2-point scale, will have to spell the word of the day and deliver on the definition. The first word of the day, gourmand. Gourmand.
Gourmand. Gourmand.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a culinary food word. I think it is somebody with a refined palate who has tried a variety of different foods, perhaps often prepared in finer restaurants or by well-known chefs. For example, Edmonton Sports Talk was looking for a gourmand. No way Dustin Nielsen was getting that job.
Yeah, you're directionally correct. You're going to achieve the 1.75 standard.
1.75.
Yeah, just because the definition isn't exact. But a gourmand is a person who loves and appreciates good food and drink. Gourmand can also refer to someone who enjoys eating and drinking to excess.
So a person who loves and appreciates good food and drink is a gourmand.
Gourmand, yes.
So it doesn't have to be prepared by. So no. I was a little. I actually got a little bit too specific.
He was. You did actually. You did.
I overdid it. You don't ever
it.
do it. Everybody, just keep it simple. Keep it nice and simple.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
He was a gourmand who retired to New Orleans.
The anaconda was a gourmand.
Yes.
Hey, come here, Pookie. I'm going to show you how wide I can open my... No, the anacondas crush them, don't they?
Dungeons and Dragons.
The anacondas are the ones who crush their prey, like in the movie Anaconda, starring John Voight, Jennifer Lopez, and Eric Stoltz.
And that was on your list of...
That was on my list of creature movies.
Creature movies. He was a gourmand who retired to New Orleans to live close to the cuisine he loved best.
It's the python that opens its jaws really wide. I wonder if that's what Dave J meant. Isn't it the python opens their jaws really wide and swallows their prey whole, while anaconda, isn't it anacondas that crush their prey? Well, and then still swallow it whole. So
they
I don't know.
Squeeze.
Yeah, they squeeze.
Squeeze.
They constrict it, but not like a boa constrictor.
Squeeze.
Snakes of the World with Jay Milne and Reid Wilkins.
I can't take it anymore.
Hi, everybody. Today we're on the plains of Chip Lake, searching for the Wildwood Rattler. No? All right, sorry, everybody.
Don't be sorry. Okay, well,
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Well, why would we play this again?
Because we have a bonus word.
What do they got to say?
Is this your first time?
Well, I thought it was the same segment.
Let's
Like when
find out.
Three's Company went to commercial and came back, they didn't play the whole. They didn't play the whole "Come and Knock on Our Door" theme song again. Speaking of which,
the heater.
I could use a pint at the Regal Beagle about now, but I got to go straight to the game.
Where's the Regal Beagle?
The Regal Beagle was the bar in Santa Monica in Three's Company.
Well, it's
that's where Larry
before
always
my
went.
Time. Fribble.
Fribble is the word?
Fribble.
Oh, fribble. I don't know what fribble is.
Fribble.
So it's like a Fraggle.
But it's a fribble.
Fribble. I don't know what this. I'll go with the common spelling.
Yeah.
Fribble. Fribble. No.
Got to get back. Give me a second.
Well,
spell it again.
Fribble.
You're correct.
All right.
We do need a sound cube. Just a ting. You know, like a.
Can you hold a triangle and hit it?
Yes.
You must have a triangle at home.
Or ta-da.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, hitting your cup.
It doesn't quite have the
It's not
same.
quite a ting noise.
Yes.
Ding. Does anybody play the triangle? Are there different pitches of triangle?
Depends on the girth.
Depends on the girth of the triangle.
Yeah.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
All right.
Fribble. You spelled it correctly.
All right, a fribble. Fribble. Can you give me noun, verb, adjective? At least
This
give me
is a
that.
verb.
It is a verb. So someone would fribble. To fribble.
It is from the Latin frivolous.
So to fribble would be to pick away at inconsequential matters. I got tired of the way Matawanek would fribble at the color of my shoelaces.
The actual definition is to act in a foolish or frivolous manner.
Oh, okay.
Trifle would be a one-word definition. The kindergartner likes to fribble at the piano, fervently playing random notes. The kids spent their free time fribbling on social media. I see a lot of fribbling going around the office on social media.
Yeah, I'll say.
You know that Oilers statement that came back out was a frivolous statement. Could you say a frivolous? That was a frivolous
Well, no, it's
statement.
a verb. It's a verb, so it wouldn't be a frivolous statement.
Was full of fribble.
No, that's a noun. Fribble's a verb. What was the sentence that it gave?
The Oilers acted.
No.
Well, didn't you say it? How did they do it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not the one learning the word. Well, yes, I am. The Oilers. Okay, say the definition of the word again.
Okay, to act in a foolish or frivolous manner.
And what's the example sentence?
The kids spent their free time fribbling on social media.
So fribbling. So how would you just use fribble in the sentence? I often fribble at work. Yeah, so something would not be frivolous. So it's to fribble if it's a noun. So
you can say frivolous.
The Oilers fribbled away my time with their statement. By the way, the Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup versus Seattle next week. The lineup tonight, we're not sure. I believe there was a point in the day on the Oilers website when they put projected lines. Those have been removed because we don't know the lines. I think it's going to be Kapanen with Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman. It'll be Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. It'll be Jeff Skinner with Henrique and Brown. And it'll be Philp with Janmark and Perry. That is my guess. And then I think other players will get opportunities based on how they're playing. I do not think Jeff Skinner starts the game in a top 6 role. I just don't. But I could be wrong. We'll know in about 45 minutes.
Can't wait.
And I think Arvidsson goes on the power play for McDavid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Should be an interesting game.
It's going to be
Lots of different angles here.
statement game. It's going to be a statement game.
One way or another, there will be statements made.
Ovechkin, 21 goals away from breaking Gretzky's record. We'll see if he gets any tonight on Stuart Skinner. Logan Thompson, 21-2-3. He's the goaltender for the Capitals this evening. All right, Oil Stream pregame show is coming up in 5 minutes with Tom and Hernan. Thanks to Zachary Kubish. On behalf of the glue guy, Jay Milne, I'm Reid. Talk to you later.